Hello everyone, my name is Cutie and welcome to Perilous Paths here on GDQ Hotfix. This is a special Thursday edition because we moved for Memorial Day, but don't worry, we'll be back on Mondays per usual in the future. Now, this show is focused on Soulslikes, Roguelikes, Metroidvanias, I almost got ahead of myself, and other adventurous speedruns. So if it has challenging gameplay, exciting exploration, or meaningful progression, it's fair game. Now, we have an incredible show today. I say that every show, but that's probably because I put them together. So I'm looking forward to seeing what we've got up. First up, we've got Castlevania 64 Reinhardt with Rosianna. This is going to be super fun. This game doesn't get shown off a lot. It doesn't get a lot of love, and it really should. I saw some of it in the warm-up room. It can only be described as extremely perilous. There's a nitro bomb, it's a whole thing. You're gonna wanna see this. Then we have what I believe is the first marathon or showing of blueprints. And what we're doing here, because it's a roguelike deck builder thing, is actually we're gonna do what's called a bequest showcase. So there's gonna be two variations of this. First, we're gonna see the game run glitchless, meaning it's still speedrun and we're still doing it as fast as possible. But we're gonna do it quote unquote the right way, in quotations over here. The camera's over here. And then we're gonna do a glitched version of that at the end. Now the glitched one is blink and you miss it. That is literally a 1.5-minute run. I don't know what they do to break it that badly. I don't know, but I'm excited to find out. So stick around for that. And then last, and certainly not least, we have Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered Glitchless Main Quest. Now, if you're not quite as old as me, you might not remember Oblivion, but this is one of the all-time greats. When you think of open world games, you think of RPGs, you think of story and quest lines, which of course we're gonna ignore today. But if you think about those things, you're thinking of Oblivion. And we've got Captain Ezekiel running that, an absolute legend, has been around the scene forever. I'm super excited to have them on. So that's basically our schedule for the next 3 hours. I think it's going to be pretty amazing, but let's go ahead and get started. So let's bring in Rosianna and her commentator, Six Quill. How are both of you doing today? Let's talk about some Castlevania 64.
I'm doing good, thank you.
Also doing well, thank you.
And for frame of reference, I do want to point out Rosianna is based in the UK, so it is very late. Thank you so much for staying up with us.
No worries, it's my pleasure.
So if you two want to go ahead and give us a quick introduction about yourselves, what we can expect to see from the game or the run, and then whenever you're ready, give us a 3, 2, 1 countdown. We'll get right into it.
Okay, so I'm Rosianna. I'm mostly a Monster Hunter speedrunner, but last year, me and Quill decided to do a randomizer of Castlevania 64 for the first time ever playing the game, and it was so fun, we decided, hey, why not try speedrunning this game? So we decided to get into the character Reinhardt. And if you're familiar with this game or the speedrun at all, you might be more familiar with Carrie, but today it's going to be focused on our favorite chunky whip man who uses the classic Castlevania whip instead of Carrie's projectile. So I think we are good to go.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're
ready anytime.
Yeah, go ahead and give us a 3, 2, 1, and then say go, and we'll get you going.
The explanation might be a bit breakneck to begin with because a lot happens in the first 5 minutes, and there's a lot of yapping and explaining to do. But I'll try my best, along with Quill, to hopefully make sense of it all. If there's anything that doesn't make sense, please let us know, and we'll try our best to make sense of it. So. Ready when you are for a 3, 2, 1?
Yeah, go ahead and give us a countdown. We want to make sure we're timed to your start.
Okay, and so beginning in 3, 2, 1, and go.
Good luck, have fun.
Thank you.
I'm excited. Ooh.
So to begin with, I will mention that our happy hero here is going to be jumping for about 99% of the run because jumping is the fastest form of movement. Running is a little bit slower.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of hopping around.
Very joyfully.
Mm-hmm.
So already...
Ryan's very happy.
Yeah, he's a very happy man. Already we're up against a boss fight, which is crazy. The first 5 seconds of the run and we're already trying to fight something.
I've never thought of a lock-on camera as quote-unquote the boss view. I actually really like that.
I can't say I know of many games that have done that recently, but it's quite a love it or hate it situation I find with this game. People either love this camera or they absolutely hate it. So, boss is going to jump into the river for now, but I'm sure they'll be back. So at the very beginning there, I picked something up called the power-up, which is going to make Ryan's whip stronger and have more range to it. You can have a maximum of 2. And for the first level, I'm just going to be grinding out both power-ups and jewels. If you're familiar with the classic Castlevania, the jewels are just like the hearts, which are the ammunition for your secondary weapon, like the holy water, which we will be using for a majority of the run against bosses especially. And speaking of bosses, we have a mini boss coming right up right now. But I'm not a big fan of this boss personally, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a little shimmy over here, walk over to this side, and they're going to walk off the ledge and die instantly, so we don't have to bother with them very much.
I like how it gives a version of like a Wilhelm scream as it falls down. Like, oh!
So coming up is a trick called a slope jump, which, Will, if you're able to give a quick demonstration, explanation of that while I tried to not get myself killed.
Yeah. So for this game, the way a lot of the physics will work is on slopes, you're able to slide down, and this will let you sort of reset yourself to jump midair. There'll be quite a few going on throughout this run. That one there, a lot of it is just going to come down to the timing so you don't die from fall damage. Let's have a nice climb up here.
Yep, usually I would be trying to be all fancy with something called task jumping, but I'm going to... oh, I got one there, so...
Yep. I was wondering if you're going to sneak one in.
Yeah, I'll do one right at the end, because that one's a lot less dangerous. I won't die to it. So, something introduced right now is, if you looked in the top left corner, you would notice there is actually a clock, because there is a time-based system in this game. I used a moon card there to set the daytime back to 6 p.m. That's going to be important for later on. What's important about the time is there are time-based events in this game, and not only that, but Reinhardt and Carrie are actually weaker the closer it is to midnight. So for some of the bosses and for some of the fights later on, I'm going to want it to be daytime as much as possible so Ryan is at his best.
So since we have a couple of characters that maybe people aren't as familiar with, do we, and I know as speedrunners we don't care about lore that much, but do we know where this game kind of fits in lore-wise or how it works with the rest of the series? I know you said you've run a lot of those games too.
As far as I'm aware, I think they made this game not canon, but I'm not sure about the specifics around that.
Yeah, it might have changed later on. It seems like this would have been towards like the end when it had come out, like latest in the timeline.
So our best friend's back. So here what I'm doing is I'm jumping into the boss at their feet, and what this is doing is it's manipulating them to take a step forward and try to swing at me, instead of running around the arena back there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep manipulating them and bringing them closer to this ledge. So hopefully, there we go, bye-bye. We get to skip one of the phases of the boss fight just by sending them off the edge there. And that is Forest of Silence done. We are onto Castle Wall.
So yeah, coming up we'll see one of those time-specific, I guess, instances coming up. There'll be a door at the end here that is only openable at a certain time of day.
For some reason, this game is making me strangely nostalgic for Mario 64. I don't know if it's the graphics or the layout or all the jumping, but I'm getting some Mario vibes.
Yeah, so I managed to get the quick cycle on those platforms there. It's kind of hard with Ryan because he's a lot slower than Carrie, but I did manage to get it there. And instantly we come to White Dragon, another boss, but if we sit at this specific spot and throw holy water, we should be perfectly fine. Sometimes you don't even take damage, but you can kill them extremely quickly, and I'm gonna snag some of these jewels while I can and be greedy, and hopefully not pick up a knife. There we go. I'm gonna pick up this chicken here, and we're gonna attempt something called left tower skip.
There
Nice.
we go.
Nice, that
I'll
was
just skip
very
the
smooth.
whole other half.
Yep, that skips the second half of this level by doing a specific jump to get ourselves out of bounds there. Nice time save. Oh, the dogs broke free, so now they're going to be a nuisance. There we go. So this is the villa, which is where... This is the area where we used the moon card for, so we have to meet a lady in a rose garden called Rosa, and you have to meet her at 3 a.m. to 6 a.m., so it's a tight window, but you have to meet her. And you have to meet her to be able to grab a key from a different character. So if you miss that window, it's a lot of waiting around. But we are here quite early, so we're going to actually beat Rosa to the garden.
Oh yeah, we'll have a couple minutes to wait, I think.
Yep.
And is your name at all related in any way, or that's just coincidence?
No, that's just a big coincidence. Yep, so we are here way earlier than I expected, so there's just going to be a little bit of time just to wait around, wait for Rosa to show up, which usually she's waiting on me.
Well, if we do have a little bit of time, it's a great opportunity to remind everyone that Summer Games Done Quick 2025 will be live from Minneapolis, Minnesota, July 6th to 13th. So if you're interested in attending, make sure to register for the event, and you can use !SGDQ in Twitch chat or visit gamesdonequick.com for more information. And also, prize submissions are still open for SGDQ, so you can visit gamesdonequick.com for more information there. If you're crafty, if you have anything really cool that you want to submit for a chance to be included in that prize set, go ahead and do that. We love seeing what the community comes up with. And I'll throw that
Just about
command in chat.
hit.
There we go.
There we go.
Yep, 3 a.m. Rosa shows up, and I should say that every single cutscene... I've lost my English. Every single cutscene in this game is skippable except one for some strange reason. But that's quite a nice thing about speedrunning in this game. You don't have to sit through minutes and minutes of cutscenes. So this is Vincent. He has a key to the archives, but I actually skipped his text box by activating 2 text boxes at the same time, which is why I stood awkwardly next to that painting there.
Yeah, a lot of very specific steps in this stage.
That right there was our first vampire fight of the game. We took care of him pretty easily using holy water. He was supposed to be the second, but earlier on I actually skipped the first mandatory vampire fight by jumping on the stair railing in the lobby. You can actually jump around the cutscene trigger, which skips the boss fight with the first vampire completely.
And do the vampires have any place in, like, do they give you, we didn't see anything from that one, but do they give you anything that's like lore related, story progression related, level up? Like a lot of times when you like fight a Koopa or something, you get something out of it. So is there any kind of repeat benefit to the fights?
Sometimes some of the vampires do have cutscenes that give you some of the lore, and mostly they're very good for jewel drops. So we grabbed the garden key here, and this is the maze garden, a notoriously difficult part of the game, but Rise doesn't believe in mazes, nor does he believe in doors, so we're just going to jump through this door right here and skip the entire maze.
Do you have to do anything special, or is that as easy as it looked, where you literally just jump face first through the door?
It is pretty easy.
Oh yeah, that is genuinely as easy as it looks. And to think it took years for people to discover that. When this whole time, Ryan was just looking to jump through a door.
Skipping both literally and figuratively.
Oh, I got the miss there. So this vampire fight at the end is the vampire couple. The first one that I killed was pretty easy. After the cutscene, you can just run out of his aggro range and snipe him with holy waters from a distance. The lady here is a little bit more annoying because she has a mist ability, which she will activate when she gets to 50% HP or less, which unfortunately she did get there. Usually what you can do is manipulate her to lock her into attack animations so she can't go into mist while she's attacking you, and then you can kill her in that short space. And that right there was the one unskippable cutscene in the whole game. For some reason, they really wanted to show you that coffin opening.
It's probably a load screen, like in disguise.
That would be a very good idea, yeah. So this is the tunnel. If you're unfamiliar with Reinhardt and you're more used to seeing Carrie, you would not have seen this stage before, because this is Reinhardt's first unique stage to Carrie. Carrie goes into the underground waterway. Meanwhile, our chunky whip man Ryan, he likes to go into the tunnel, which is a much longer stage, but I personally like it because the music reminds me of GoldenEye 007. It kind of has that atmosphere to it.
Yeah, somebody in chat did mention that they think this has the best atmosphere out of any Castlevania game in the series.
I 100% biased, but I tend to agree. I really like the atmosphere of this game.
And are we going first person to kind of like lower what we're seeing and speed up the FPS, or is that just cuz?
Exactly. Just like a GoldenEye speedrun, we look into first person to reduce some lag frames. Oh, great
nice
slope jump.
scary slope jump right there.
Yeah,
very
so
good.
That's a very spooky slope jump. Luckily, I've gotten quite decent at it. However, the second slope jump in the tunnel is a lot more scarier for me personally. Some people hate the first slope jump. I personally hate the second one. But that one was pretty good. I like that. I managed to get all the way straight to the ledge. So what I've just stood on there is a gondola. It's like an elevator, and it takes you around a massive system of tunnels and caves. However, we're not going to ride that because it's kind of slow. It creates a lot of lag. So instead, we're just going to activate it, and we're going to run over here to grab some jewels, and we're just going to wait for the blue elevator, which are supposed to jump off the red one to get onto the blue one, and then the blue one will take you to the second half of the level. But we don't like lag. This game already has a lot of lag, unfortunately, so we're just going to wait for it to show up.
Yeah, so I guess in terms of parts of the game, there's going to be a lot of waiting around. This would be the biggest one.
Oh, yeah. Even more than Rosa.
Oh yeah, we've got a good 40 seconds, I would say, of just Ryan stood there. So,
well,
yeah, if you've got a beverage, go ahead.
Not yet. I have a beverage, but I also have announcements, which is
Even
we do
better.
have Frame Fatales 2025. GDQ's all women and femme speedrunning community is preparing for its next event. Flame Fatales. Sorry, there was a comma on my announcement sheet, and I totally totally can't read. Run submissions will be open from now until June 1st, so type !FF in the chat for information on how to join the Discord and stay up to date with all things Frame Fatales. That includes submitting runs, so you still have just a couple of days to do that, so make sure to get those in if that's something you're looking forward to doing.
Oh, here's our ride. There we go. So instead of riding it all the way around, we just catch it, jump on the train.
I like how it doesn't even stop for you. It just...
No. If you're not on the ride, then you're getting left behind, buddy. So this is what the tunnels look like. This is what we should have been going through on the red gondola, but instead we'll just go through it on the blue one. I'm on my best behavior this run. Usually I'd be doing this, GoldenEye style, looking all the way up or all the way down, but I'm going to behave and just take a modest lag reduction.
And why would you normally do that? Are you afraid that one of the skulls might hit you or something?
Absolutely. If you're not paying attention or you start zoning out, those skulls can hit you, and if Ryan falls over during a damage animation, then he can slide straight off the blue gondola and it is an instant death.
And then another 3-minute wait?
Oh yeah. So this is where we're going to be getting off. I will be doing another save here because the second slope jump of the tunnel is coming up. And this is the spooky one for me personally. I hate this slope jump.
The bat had me nervous there.
Yeah, me too, actually. I was worried that I was worried that the bat was going to catch me on the way down because I let go of the first ledge accidentally. But we made it through, fantastic. And right here is a sun door, and we made it here, and it's still daytime, so we just get to walk straight through.
This is a lot of interesting mechanics that you don't see in a lot of the other Castlevania games. Like, they were playing around with some new stuff in this one.
Yeah, like a motorbike skeleton.
Yeah. I mean, why not?
Yeah, so this is Castlevania Center. This is the longest level of the game. So a lot of our time is going to be spent here. Quick triple vampire fight there, which was pretty nice. That was a pretty decent vampire fight. The second two vampires that you saw there are actually randomized. The first vampire at the front, the lady that we saw in the villa, she's guaranteed. The two at the back can be randomized between 3 different vampire types. I got a villager and a butler, which is not bad, but I would have preferred a butler and a maid. That's my personal favorite combination because the maid is more passive. She stays in the back while you can deal with the other two.
This is a very interesting music selection.
Yeah, I personally love the Castle Center theme, though. Whenever I think of this game, this is kind of like the song I associate it with.
It's very catchy. This like little, I don't know if this is, it's not a xylophone, but whatever it is in the background is like, I'm liking it.
A couple vampires here.
Yep, a couple of butlers. It is worthy to note that after 6 p.m, when it's nighttime, vampires do actually gain additional health. I believe it's double health that they gain when it's nighttime. So I was able to quickly get to those guys there before they started to get more HP, and then they're a lot harder to deal with. Did I get the key? No. So that was an opportunity there for a text box skip on the lizard man who gives us a key to a different part of the castle. Unfortunately, I didn't get it there. Honestly, I never get it. It saves about 7 seconds. It is very RNG based, though. He has to walk to the specific position. And I think that was the correct position. I'm honestly unsure about that. I usually just never go for it in runs because it's like I think I remember someone saying it's like a 1 out of 10 chance for him to do that.
Yeah, look close. It's always very hard to gauge that.
Yeah. So I just picked up...
Oh, I was going to say, do we want to talk about what you just picked up? Because this is what I saw earlier.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was just about to bring that up. So I picked up the infamous magical nitro. If Reinhardt or Carrie have the nitro on them and they take damage, fall from a height, or jump, they will spontaneously combust and instantly explode.
Yep.
I do a cheeky clip through this window. There we go. That allows us to skip backtracking and going through the whole right side of the castle. So it's a very convenient skip for Ryan. So I'm saving before I pick up the nitro, which is the spooky nitro. The first nitro is like an introduction. Now this is the real deal.
I'm afraid if I talk too much, it'll set it off. Like, I'm a little worried.
Definitely how it feels sometimes, especially on this part, the next couple rooms.
Oh yeah, I feel like if I just breathe in the wrong way, Ryan's gonna explode.
This would be a great, I think it was maybe on Until Dawn, there was a game, it was a horror game where like if you moved the controller, the monsters would spot you. This would be a great time to have something like that for this. Like you shake too much or something, the nitro explodes. We're all being really quiet because this is like the hardest part of the run, just so everyone knows there's a reason we're not talking.
Yep.
Beautiful.
And there's a very clean clag skip.
Yeah, so I didn't explain what was going on, but just know my heart was pumping. I was staying quiet for a good reason. That is, for me personally, one of the scariest rooms in the whole game. As you could see, the small platforms that I was running across. Camera, hello, there we go. And we managed to do a cog skip, which what we do is we squeeze Ryan between the cog and the wall, which pushes him up, so it doesn't count as a jump, so he won't explode. However, if you go too early, you will get crushed between the cog and the wall, and he will explode. So it's a bit of a spooky one.
Hey,
all right,
motorcycle's
you
back.
behave.
Yeah.
All right, I need that guy to behave. Okay. Oh, I wonder what this guy's doing here. I wonder if he will be relevant later on.
I'm sure not.
He's sound asleep.
Yeah.
Swag slide? I got it, nice. So this is the magic seal.
More games need motorcycle skeletons. Like, I'm going to put that out there. If there's any game developers in chat, get one of those in your game. It will sell better. Like,
absolutely. So that's the nitro dropped off at the magic seal, and we are done with the nitro. We can all breathe out. The nitro is done. No more spontaneous combustions.
I'm going to point out the grace under pressure there, because during warm-ups I think I saw explosions about 15 times, and so I was anticipating some stuff, and then when the lights are on and you need to do it right, just knocks it out of the park like it's nothing.
So there are 2 vampires in the next room in front of us, so I'm just going to use my sun card to get it to daytime so they have less health. I love the vampire death sounds in this game. It's so over-dramatic.
Now that you point it out. That one was pretty epic.
Just trying to snipe the motorbike skeleton there if I can, because when he dies, he does reduce the lag. So it's good to try and snipe them if you can.
Chat says this is only the second game they've seen a motor skeleton, and now I gotta know what the first game is.
Yeah, like what's the second one or the first one even?
I know there's what is it, Death on a Skateboard and like Have a Nice Death or something. I think he's a skeleton.
Oh, right.
Or Let It Die, I forget. Whatever one of those games, it didn't last very long.
So I didn't mention this earlier, but this room here is the lizard room, and a bunch of lizards will spawn out of these cabinets here. And what we do is, because you can't open the door until they're dead, what we do is we rush to this corner and run against the wall so we can despawn them, and that allows us to go through the door without needing to fight any of the lizards. And we will do the reverse version of the lizard despawn later. These guys are not being generous with their jewels today.
No, not at all.
So you're probably getting the idea now of why this is the longest level of the game. We came all the way to the top of the castle, went all the way down, we're all the way back at the top again, and guess where we're going after this? We're going all the way back down again.
It's a classic like lock and key thing, right? Where you're cycling through the level to find the next progression.
Yeah.
So apparently SMT, which I had to Google it, is Shin Megami Tensei, does have motorcycle skeletons. Someone else says FF7 might have one, and there may be one in something called Hellbiker, which I'm not familiar with. But apparently there are some out there.
And they're probably great games for that exact reason.
Well, SMT is well known. I've never played one, but definitely a long-standing series. I think it's like Pokemon-esque almost, if I remember correctly.
A bit, yeah.
So in the observatory there, we had to input a code. It's like a little puzzle where you have to investigate statues and they will give you a hint towards the puzzle. But it's the same every time, so if you already know the code, you can just put it in right there and you don't have to check any of the statues. And that makes the magic seal disappear, which was in that huge room with the bull that I'm sure is 100% dead.
I like how the guy's just on top of the column, just hanging out.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's doing up there, but he was chilling.
Is he always up there?
Yeah.
Okay.
For some reason, he just likes being up there.
I mean, I respect it. That's another thing that should be in more games. It's like enemies just chilling in random spots where you open the door, you're like, what are you doing there, buddy? I'm seeing a lot of ideas in this game that I like, is what I'm saying.
Oh, absolutely. I think people should be, game developers should be taking notes right now. There we go. So that's the reverse version of the despawning the lizards. So now I can just go through the area and open the door with no hassle.
Somebody in chat says it's awesome to see this game being whipped so good, and I gotta point out, I'm hoping that's an intentional pun.
Oh yeah, because usually we see Carrie, who has a projectile and not a whip, so I think it's a nice change of pace for people to finally be seeing Reinhardt in the game. And I personally agree. I love Reinhardt.
Is this the only game that Reinhardt appears in?
Yes, until recently. There's a game called Vampire Survivors, and I was shocked to find that Reinhardt actually got added in that game for the Castlevania DLC, which is amazing.
I love every time that guy shows up.
He's such a menace.
Is it literally like just that one spot that's the only time he's there?
There is actually motorbike skeletons earlier in the run, but you didn't get to see them because I despawned them before they managed to show up. It was actually on the very first level, at the very end, where we was doing manipulations on the giant skeleton. That skeleton's supposed to be supported by 2 motorbike skeletons, but by running to the end of the arena, we actually despawned them, so it's a nice surprise to see them here first instead. and I managed to get both there. So that's going to reduce a lot of lag later on.
So I notice you have a status which says good. Is there something like, could that be poison? Could that be something else? Could you get fatigued? Does it ever change?
Yeah, so the lizards have the ability to poison, and vampires, if they bite you, they can apply something called Vamp, which is a status effect where you will instantly die as soon as it hits midnight.
Huh.
Unless you cure yourself of vampirism using a purifier. And oh look, the bull's awake. Who could have seen this coming?
Okay.
Yeah, this boss fight is very dramatic, as you will soon see. Hopefully I can get this right. Oh, he might escape. Yep, he's escaped.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he has managed to escape here. As you can see, he's got now a skeleton body, which is very spooky and gross of them, but hey, that's Konami, I guess. Brian is not doing me any favors here by aiming for the legs.
Is you might be able to guess from just the skin burning off, other parts of his body will be destroyed, just like his legs there. Makes this a lot more manageable once you get those hind legs.
Okay, you know, when I saw a bull boss, I thought I knew what to expect. Like, we're pretty familiar with, like, Bane in the Batman series. Like, they run at you, you dodge, they hit a wall, whatever. We've seen it 100 times. I did not expect an eyeball in the mouth shooting a laser. I did not expect the body burning off or him slowly crawling towards you. So, like, hats off. I mean, that was interesting.
And if you think we haven't had enough boss fights, there's one instantly straight after. We're fighting Rosa from the garden.
Oh no.
He is now a vampire.
Well, that didn't go very long.
No, luckily I managed to get a good cycle on her, so she didn't manage to get any damage on me. Nice and easy. I am actually tempted. No. So I was thinking about there are like hidden breakable objects in this game where you can break them and there's like secret hidden goodies. I was thinking about breaking one of those and seeing if I could grab any jewels, because I would like jewels for this next area, but I think I can go without for now.
Now, I see you're down to 1 water. Should we be concerned about that?
It's more of just a quality of life at this point. I really like using holy water at this point, but it's definitely not necessary. Unfortunately, you need 3 jewels to be able to use our holy water in this game. Different weapons have different requirements for jewels, so it's just a quality of life thing. It's not really necessary anymore for the entire rest of the run, but I just like having holy water for this area. So this is Jewel Tower, which, as you can see, I instantly had a boss fight. The whole Jewel Tower is another unique Rhine stage. It's kind of just like a boss rush, but if I jump down here, I'm basically just going to skip 90% of this whole area, and we only have to fight 1 more boss until we leave this place.
Now, is it just because we're going fast, or is it that we actually have more bosses than like regular enemies, it seems?
Yeah, this game is full of a ton of enemies, bosses, but we've actually managed to skip a fair few of them at this point. In a casual playthrough, you would be having many different boss rushes in this game. They really liked their bosses.
Somebody said that
Bit
was
of a
trippy
spooky
water,
section.
and I hate to break it to you, I don't think that was water. Oh,
Round
it's that,
2 with the Were-Tiger. Yep.
I was gonna say it's that dude from Tekken, King.
Oh, it's King. Oh, yeah, he has command grabs like he's king, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's definitely King. Who makes Tekken? That's not Konami, right?
That's Bandai Namco.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, that was a bit spooky there. I did a little bit of a slide. Okay, so this is Dual Tower done. Hold on, I am actually just going to duck for a second. There we go. A bit scared of that one. So coming up is my personal demon, so I am going to lock in on this stage.
Yeah, our favorite Tower of Lag.
Tower of Lag.
Yep, you'll see a very large slowdown here.
Is there any risk and or benefit from the lag? Like, could you fall through or clip something or anything like that? Anything fun?
There's some janky interactions. I haven't seen a whole lot here. Might mess with some of your jumps if they're timed improperly. For the most part, it's just more of a nuisance than anything going through here.
I like how in so many games, especially for speedruns, the greatest enemy is usually like a level 1 flying bat or something.
Yeah.
And you're like, I can,
Just something that can knock you off.
I can do everything perfectly, and then like this level 1 bee stings you or something, and you fall to the very bottom, and you're like, oh, come on.
Nice test jump there.
That like double kick up jump thing is so swaggy. It's like some Jackie.
It's very cool.
Yeah, like some Jackie Chan or something like.
Oh, it's getting very tight there.
Speaking of action movie cliches.
Yeah. Oh, and sniped by a skeleton. Jeez.
I liked how you were still able to hit him while you were falling backwards. That was pretty cool.
There we go, and that's the end of the tower.
Okay, I can breathe. I hate that place. Just every instance of damage could just be instant death. I hate it. I've lost so many runs to that place.
I will
So,
say
last
because
sun card.
you are finding wall and chandelier meat and stuff. I will say this game I think is canon just because of that.
Absolutely. Reinhardt, at the end of the day, he likes more chicken just like every other Belmont.
It's true.
Classic death fight, however, he's a little bit of a pushover in this game, unfortunately.
Bit of a shame. He's got a very cool attack with a demonic fish that he summons.
Yeah, he summons giant demonic fish, but he didn't get a chance to do that. But now we're moving on to the classic Castlevania level of Clock Tower. Usually every game has one.
Now, what if you had to do this level with Nitro?
Why would you say such things? Bit of a fall there, but it's okay. As long as I don't die, honestly, that's all I care about. Because if you die in this game, you do lose your power-ups. And at this point, after Castle Center, you kind of don't really get your power-ups back. scariest room in the game. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for the next cycle. Nice. Okay, clock tower key. So just some platforming, and that's basically the end of clock tower. However, there is actually a really infamous glitch that can happen called fire glitch, where those skeleton heads that are shooting fire at me can... I honestly don't know how it works. I'm not sure if the community knows how it works, but it can make this glitch happen where you're getting hit by invisible fire, and it's a huge problem, but it's very rare. I've only ever seen it happen like twice, I think.
Huh.
Okay, so this is the castle keep. Every Belmont has to run up a flight of stairs. And this is where I'll say this is basically getting towards the end of the game now. We're going to be fighting 3 phases of Dracula. And Dracula is a little bit RNG based because he has the power to turn into mist and teleport around. So I'm going to be on the quiet side because I'm going to be using sound to hear which side of me he's teleporting on. The third phase, if it goes correctly, is a lot quicker and more of a pushover than the first and second. The second usually being the big issue. But yeah, here we go. Finally, we're at Dracula.
That ever familiar Dracula theme playing?
Are you going for headshots? Is that like a critical or extra damage thing?
Dracula can only be damaged on the head, so I'm forced to hit him on the head. Okay, that's Dracula 1 done. So in classic Dracula fashion, he cannot accept that he lost, so he's going to make the castle crumble. And I just have to escape the stairs. Got a cutscene to interrupt us, and we'll be going on to Dracula 2. I will say, get ready for time on Dracula 2, because Dracula 3 can be over very, very quickly. Last fast jump of the game? No, I didn't get it, but that's fine.
Ooh, he's putting on a concert. I like that. I feel like 90% of PBs and records are decided by this fight.
It can be. It can be very awkward. Okay, Dracula 3. Some reason he's a scorpion.
It's a very cool Dracula design.
Okay, I got it good, so... time.
GG's.
GG's. that's the end. That's Castlevania 64 Reinhardt. I'm very glad this man managed to get some spotlight finally. Carrie's been hogging the light way too long. Ryan deserves some love too. And yeah, I've been enjoying this game since I started running it last year. It's been an absolute blast. And yeah, Dracula will do the most over-dramatic death scene in the world.
Well, while we're enjoying that, do you want to take a minute, tell all the wonderful people out there where maybe they can find out a little bit more about you, tune into your stream if you do that, if there's a Discord community, shout outs, anything you want to tell people about, now is the time.
Yeah, Quill, would you like to take first honors?
Sure. Not a whole lot about me. I play a lot of Monster and Castlevania 2, of course. Not a whole lot. That's really it.
Quill loves Mega Man. There we go.
Yeah, that too.
So, I'd like to say shoutouts to the Castlevania 64 speedrunning Discord. They're very cool people. They helped me out a lot when I first started running this game, Ty especially. And shoutouts to Liquid Cat, who made the Archipelago randomizer that actually got us into this game to begin with. Dracula is so loud in my ears right now. He's so dramatic. And shoutouts to Quill for joining me. Shoutouts to our hosts. Shoutouts to GDQ. Yeah, this has been a very cool experience. I love Castlevania. I'm so glad I got to share it with everyone.
I'm trying so hard not to laugh while you're talking. this cutscene, man.
He's so just out there, isn't he?
This is one of the best game-ending death cutscenes I think I've ever seen. That was fantastic.
It goes on forever.
Well, that is it for our first run, but don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break to get set up for our next one, which is Blueprint's Bequest Percent Showcase, as we talked about at the start. But before we do that, I do want to take a moment to thank everyone for supporting GDQ Hotfix with your subs, your Prime Gaming subs, your gift subs, and your bits. Your contributions do help keep our shows running, so if you're enjoying the stream, consider subscribing for exclusive emotes, ad-free viewing, and access to chat during replays. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to GDQ Hotfix. This is a special Thursday edition of Perilous Paths. My name is Cutie, and we're going to move on to our second run of the day, which is Blueprints. And for this, we're doing something a little special. This is going to be a Bequest Percent Showcase, meaning we're going to do both glitchless and glitched. There's a lot of little nuance and interesting things to this. I believe it's the first time Blueprints has been seen on a marathon, so I'm super excited for this. It's an indie darling. Everyone loves it right now. I can't wait. So let's go ahead and bring in Taiwan and their commentator, Blacken. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to GDQ Hotfix. This is a special Thursday edition of Perilous Paths, and we've got Blueprints coming up next with a Bequest Percent Showcase. Now, I'm super interested in this game. It's an indie darling. Everyone's talking about. Someone in chat called it their game of the year earlier when they were looking at the schedule. So I can't wait. And I do have to admit, it took me far too long to figure out the name was a pun on the gameplay. But let's go ahead and bring in our runner, Taiwan, and their commentator, Blackhand. How are the two of you doing today?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Doing well.
Doing well here. Thank you.
All right.
So go ahead and I was gonna say, go ahead and you're ahead of the curve. Give us a quick introduction. Tell us a little bit about yourselves, about the game, because it's pretty unique, super interesting. And then whenever you're ready, we can go ahead and do a countdown and get into it.
Okay, sure. Yeah. So I'll be showcasing Blueprints, both the glitchless and glitch categories. For the glitchless category, there's going to be a few differences just because the RNG of the game is so volatile. Normally, we would be trying to complete everything during day one, but as this is a showcase, we're going to allow ourselves to have multiple days and just try to get the tutorial level, quote unquote, completed of Blueprints, which is attaining Room 46 and inheriting the manor. So there's going to be some spoilers on how to do this tutorial level for anyone that may not have played the game. And time will start as soon as we gain control of the character, so I'm just going to go ahead and hop right in.
Yeah, so we start by skipping this cutscene here, and then as soon as we gain control of our character, the time starts usually.
Yep, so then I should be able to give you a good 3, 2, 1 here. So in 3, 2, 1, start. And the
luck, have
biggest
fun.
difference that we are going to do is we're going to open a hallway on the left here. In the fastest route, we would normally open a closet up north, but we're allowing ourselves multiple paths, which is kind of the idea of blueprints, is you don't want to pigeonhole yourself into certain areas. And
Yeah,
unfortunately...
the very first door that you open will always have a bedroom, a closet, and a hallway. It's always fixed like that. In day 1 runs, we usually pick the closet, but here, because of what Taiwan explained, we can just get more doors by picking the hallway in the left.
And just did a... This is one of the permanent unlocks of the roguelite. Wow, I just turned on the keycard on accident. Nice. This gives us access to 2 gems whenever we start the next day. And I don't know if you've really noticed, but every time that we click on a door, we draft 3 rooms. The primary focus of the game is just drafting. The puzzles kind of take a back seat to that, in my opinion, especially for the bequest run. And what we're trying to do in the early levels is build up the resources. We want to ensure that we have paths throughout the house. We want to ensure that we have keys to allow us to unlock doors. And then there's a resource called gems that allow us to draft more rare rooms. And so early on, you just want to try to build up your resources to allow you to then draft rare rooms that allow you to finish puzzles. And we're going to go ahead and just choose the West Wing Hall here, save Den for later, as Den is a very broken room. And
yeah, so the puzzle that Taiwan solved on the utility closet is one thing that we call a permanent unlock. So the 2 gems that we get are going to be permanent at the start of each day, which is not something that we do in the day 1 run, but obviously it's quite useful here. And the utility closet also allows us to get another permanent unlock later, assuming we also get the garage, which we are looking for. The garage can only spawn in the west wing, which is why we are mainly trying to secure a route to the left. That's very unfortunate.
This is an
There's nothing going north.
draft. We're gonna throw the bathroom there. We don't like what just happened.
Yeah, so the reason why we get a bathroom is because the way the drafting pool works in this game, you just get rid of a room that could mess you up later. So because we don't want the lavatory, because it's a terrible room, we just get it out of the way, because all the rooms that we had in that were bad anyways for that specific square. So we just get rid of the worst one. It's kind of like burning a card in a deck of cards.
Yep, and we got really lucky there where... Oh, bad menuing. Nice. We got really lucky there. We got security. We've already placed the utility closet, and this allows us to now turn off all the key cards and set our security level to high. The security level high will now make it more likely for us to get security doors. I have a silver key. Nice. We more likely to get security doors when we draft... Ooh, this is a...
Wow.
I am getting denied. The goal is to get to the garage so we can unlock some more permanent upgrades. But the game really does not like me to go on the west side. So we are now forced to try to survive and try to find an answer. Ew. Drawing room is really good. It allows us to re-roll rooms that we draft from it. It also has a gem refund, so it's net cost 0, as long as you know the safe code.
Yeah, some of the puzzles are randomized, some are not. The safe codes are not randomized. Something that's randomized, for example, is the parlor puzzles, which Taiwan did one of those earlier very quickly. The day 1 puzzles are very easy to solve, and you can actually kind of memorize some of the solutions, but you need to still read to see which one you get. But all of them are very easy on day 1, and they get progressively harder. Billiards is another example of this. So now the third puzzle is randomized, but all of the solutions there are not that many solutions that you can get, and more or less we memorized some of them for day 1.
Yeah, I'm going through this really fast just because I've done this so many times. And what's cool is you can actually grab keys through the wall. Ooh. You can grab keys through the wall while the door is opening. If you try to grab through the door, it does not work. But anything in the game is interactable through walls, and that's kind of a spoiler for later on the glitched run. But this house just does not... Ooh, chapel's nice. Does not want me to go left. Our main goal is just to get our permanent upgrades, and then if we can find any puzzle pieces, workshop's great here. Find any puzzle pieces in order to make progress towards getting to room 46.
Whoa.
This is weird.
This is very strange.
I'm taking the bedroom because I just got Sledgehammer. On day 1, the bedroom always has a trunk box, and I'm gonna use a silver key just to ensure that I get the garage. No, I'm not going to be greedy. I'm just going to take the passageway, get the garage. I'm just going to take the garage. That was very weird.
I'm the biggest Great Hall defender, but that's not a Great Hall.
Yeah, so now if we can get garage here, we did. Perfect. This gives us 3 keys. It's a really, really strong room. And it opens the door, which allows us to not get on the floor, but unlock some permanent upgrades. And now...
Yeah, and garage is very special room because... even though it's a rare room or an unusual room or something, it will almost always be offered to you the first time you draft on the West Wing. I think it's past rank 4. Yeah, past rank 4. So it doesn't, even though it's a rare room, you still almost always get it. It's very easy to predict. But if you don't get it in the first time, if you don't draft it the first time it's offered to you, it's not going to be offered to you probably for the rest of the day. It's really annoying. So you have to take it on the first time. But at least it's what we want in this case, so it's fine.
And you might be noticed that I'm kind of drafting really quick. What's cool about running day 1, despite it being really volatile and just a very masochistic experience, is that since it kind of is like a tutorial, a lot of the percentage weights of rooms is a lot lower than it would be on a non-day run. So I can actually very easily choose like the best room in certain situations just based off what the game is allowing. And so I don't think I got a foundation. Pool doesn't really.
We were looking for either a foundation or maybe some rerolls, but we are not finding either of those.
And I don't have a gem for the office to get the upgrade. So
the upgrade disc. That's unfortunate.
It's a little unfortunate. We'll take the dining room here. I'm gonna open this door to see if I can get any gems to potentially still get an office for later, since I have so many keys. This is probably going to be...
That's really funny.
Guest bedroom or bunk room, hopefully. This is not at all what I wanted. Ew.
Yeah, we still have all the minimum components for the day 1, which is okay. We have the garage and the utility closet. That's good enough. Ideally, we get rerolls as well, but it's not working out.
Library came at the worst time. If we got
insulting.
library earlier, library is one of the strongest rooms in a day 1 run because it allows you and get locksmith a little late. Okay, so we're just gonna eat our fish and go unlock our permanent upgrades and then move on to the next day. But library is really strong on a day 1 run. Like I said earlier, that it's very easy to draft because the percentages are so skewed towards the earlier common rooms. The problem with that is, in order to get to room 46, you need some rare rooms. You need rerolls, you need a foundation or a pool, and foundation and pool are very, very unlikely to be able to naturally be seen. So in a room like the library, why did I not go out the garage? What am I doing?
I was wondering where you were going.
I didn't unlock the door yet. Oh. But I got distracted. Anyways, so a room like the library or a key like the silver key is one of our win conditions in order to hopefully force, because you can't actually 100% guarantee, unless you filled out your entire house and you only have like 4 certain rooms left in your draft pool. But we can kind of have a higher percentage chance to hit those rare rooms with a combo of silver key and like either drawing room or the library. So what we're going to do now is we're going to interact with the outer room here. And this, normally for day 1, you want rerolls in order to force a room called the Tomb. But we're just going to interact with that to now have a chance to roll Tomb naturally without rerolls moving forward. We're going to go ahead and open this gate, which will now allow us to interact with that outer room without having to go through the garage. And then we're going to unlock one last permanent upgrade before we call it a day on day 1.
Yeah, which is the apple orchard, and conveniently after getting the apple orchard we just want to call it a day, and that's convenient because getting back from the apple orchard is so slow anyways, so calling it a day saves time and it resets the day. Someone was asking why we didn't look at the observatory. That's because the reward for the observatory on day 1 is just 1 coin, which is not useful at all. and we get the star anyways. We will look at the observatory on the second day we get it, but not on the first because the reward is just not good enough.
Yeah, and I probably should have done the puzzle just to have it set so I don't have to waste time, but it's net kind of the same. So we're just going to call it a day. We got our permanent unlocks, and hopefully what we're going to do for day 2 is find an answer to get underground. There's 2 sides to being underground. One we call tomb side or fountain side, and the other we call gear side. The main ways that you can get to gear side is through crossing the reservoir from the tomb side, finding a foundation, or creating a power hammer. And then the ways to get to tomb side is through tomb, which we can RNG rolled now here, or by draining the fountain. Normally we just want to get tomb because draining the fountain is very slow. And we got tomb rewarded.
Nice, good RNG.
So
now we can solve this puzzle with the statues, and then it's going to open the way to the minecart. We need to move the minecart that's underground because it's inconveniently placed in the middle of the gear puzzle that we need to do later. So we just need to move the minecart out of the way. And we also get an upgrade disc for it, which is going to upgrade one of our rooms permanently.
That is if we can find a computer, which I am horrible at doing once I have actual upgrade discs inside my inventory.
I mean, you just got 3 offices when you didn't have the gems.
True.
What about the 4?
I have 2 extra gems today. Surely nothing goes wrong.
Yeah, there's no way.
And in the fastest route, you don't actually want to move the minecart because it takes 5 seconds to move. So normally you would just do the gear side, and then you would finish getting to the room 46 lever on this side before running to room 46. But to make it a lot easier on the RNG, we're going to go ahead and move this cart, which allows us to do the entire gear puzzle on one side, and we no longer have to worry about this side any longer. So because we don't have to worry about this side any longer, we don't want pool. It's like,
I mean, if you get pool, you can backtrack.
Yeah,
and activate gear side.
It's not ideal to get pool. We'd much prefer to getting a foundation, which has a higher chance to now spawn because we are on day 2, or creating a power hammer, which honestly I think has the high. I just think creating a power hammer is easiest on day 1, but I'm biased.
Yeah, I agree. Especially looking at your practice attempts for this, it seems like you always get the foundation more than a power hammer.
Okay.
But both options are on the table. What's not on the table are, and I'm not going to even mention it, but like other ways to open the north door are just not on the table. Too volatile to win the run within a timely manner, as Herbie puts it. So we are always going for that sanctum lever.
So we are back to doing kind of an early game farm. It is a roguelike, and the day does get reset. So progress that we make in certain puzzles do stick between different days. That's why rolling tomb there was so nice. But we do have to redraft every... Ooh, walk-in closet is nice. Oh, this is a really good walk-in closet too.
Ooh, rerolls.
Rerolls
That's rare.
are super strong in this game because you are drafting rooms, and if you get a dead end, you get another shot. So I know in the parlor room on the first day, I did that really quick. As the days progress, the puzzles get harder, and I no longer have the solutions memorized. And so
I love how you say that as you solve it instantly.
It was still a day 1 puzzle. It was still a day 1.
Yeah, it's the same puzzle as day 1. Yeah. So
but if
day 2 and day 1 actually have the same parlor difficulty, I think.
If somehow we keep getting further and further in the days, I'm gonna get slower and slower and slower, and I'm probably gonna mess up. I'm gonna just take corridor here and guarantee the garage so we get keys. And our entire goal right now is just to open as many rooms as we possibly can in the house. What's awkward is on day 2 or past day 1, utility closet is not as common. And so therefore, security...
There's your computer?
There's a computer. I forgot to get the upgrade disc.
Oh, I didn't even. Oh,
Oops.
no.
Yeah, that's
Oops.
fine. That's fine. If we have the stamina, we'll do it later. I'll set the security now, and that is what I was scared of. So let's go grab the upgrade disc. That is awkward.
That's really unfortunate.
You hate getting blocked on rank 3. The chance of that
that's
was
the
actually
earliest possible security door, and that's really unlucky that it's spawned there.
So we're just going to go grab... Yep.
Because I was thinking about this. You may have inadvertently set a Perilous Path record. So let me ask, this being a roguelike, it has resets, rerolls, failure states. That's all part of the genre. Can you actually die in this game?
Technically, you can fall, but through the world, and there's a game over screen, but you just move on to the next day. It just says you trip and fell. So there's actually no death of... So I guess it'd be more roguelite, not roguelike.
Okay, and the reason I'm
you
asking,
can die in their mode, but not in this run.
that would make this, if we don't count that as a death, this would make this the only game, I believe, I'd have to double check the schedule, that we've had where you can't die. But still, obviously, perilous and non-linear and all those fun things. But I was just kind of curious. I was like, wait, did we end up with a game where you can't die?
Well, so you can't die, but the game can inflict very large mental damage to you, as we just saw by that security room.
Exhibit A.
It inflicts emotional damage.
I have so many rerolls and resources. This is unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, this is emotional damage, because we were basically locked for this day because of that stupid security door that spawned.
But hopefully we get
the only reason why we are continuing is for the upgrade disc. So hopefully we get either a boudoir or a nook or a guest bedroom. Those are like the best ones to get.
Yeah, it's like boudoir, guest bedroom, nook. Courtyard's not bad.
This one is fine.
Yeah,
this one is fine.
We'll go ahead and just take the gem upgrade just for more resources.
So Chad is asking about, especially for people not familiar with this game, what is the win con? We know we're trying to get to a certain room, but like, how do we go about that? Do we need certain skills, certain items, certain amount of money? Like, what is it we're trying to do?
Yeah, so the goal is to reach room 46. We've currently done one of the win conditions, which is that tombside cart pull. The next win condition is that we need to gain access to where the lever is to unlock the room itself. That lever is underground on the gear side, which was to the opposite side of that cart that we just moved. And we want to find a foundation in order to get to that side. And what's cool about the foundation is it's a permanent unlock in your house. So once we get it, we no longer have to worry. Tool shed. Hopefully I get a sledgehammer. Nice. And once you have access to that foundation to gain access to that other side, our last remaining win condition is to then unlock the antechamber, which is this room at the very north. And there are, let's say, 6 different ways that you can unlock antechamber doors, and they unlock different sides. Normally, there's what we call like the secret garden key, which unlocks the left side. And you can unlock the right side with the secret garden if you have power hammer or if you draft garage above it. I probably should have drafted.
Yeah, that's a very interesting interaction that not a lot of people know about. If you put a garage on top of the secret garden, if you can go out the garage with the utility closet, you can actually hit the lever from outside and you open the antechamber from the outside of the house.
I think I'll take
which is interesting.
here.
I've done that in a run before.
And then Great Hall unlocks the right side of the antechamber. And then you have the greenhouse, which, cloister's not what you want to see.
Yeah, cloister is awkward.
Which unlocks the middle path. And then weight room with a power hammer can also...
I think you took Mila last time,
Yeah, I'll take the bedroom, just because bedrooms are a lot more common if I do place a courtyard versus green rooms.
Yeah, Great Hall is probably the most reliable way because you just need to draft one room, and then it looks very bad if you're not very knowledgeable about the game because you might look at it and it's 7 locked doors, but you can actually, it's very... there are ways that we can predict where the lever is going to spawn. So usually you only need 2 or 3 keys to get the lever, which is much less than what you would think if you don't know the game that much. You might think it's a 1 in 6, but it's really not. We will get that if we get the Great Hall later. But those are the 2 most reliable ways. The Secret Garden and the Great Hall are the most likely ones. Then we can also get Power Hammer, in combination with the weight room that can give us a south door. The greenhouse in combination with a broken lever can also give us the south door. And the other two ways are a bit more... only one, I guess. It's the Mechanarium, but that one is very rare that it's going to work.
And is also locked behind that gear puzzle that we're trying to locate. Ooh.
Yeah.
Love to see that. We'll go ahead and go get our garage, hopefully. Nice.
Yeah, even if we are not planning to go outside, the 3 keys are obviously very useful.
And I'm not going to draft that door simply because I have a sledgehammer. That is huge. And we are gemmed up. Nice. So hopefully we don't get blocked with gems. The reason why I am not going to open that door is if I get a T-shaped door off this corridor, I don't want to intentionally block myself. And like the dark room. But now this is really awkward.
You have the 2 chests.
I think I do observatory here. Yeah. And then now I'll do the puzzle to get the 2 chests.
Yeah, so with 2 stars, you can get the constellation that spawns 2 chests at the beginning of at the entrance hall, basically. The chests, I see a lot of people who play this game, they underrate the chests. The chests are really good. We already have a sledgehammer, but even if we didn't have a sledgehammer, spending a key on a chest is 100% worth it. I see some people don't want to spend a key on a chest. It's always worth it to spend a key on a chest.
There are some exceptions. It's generally weighted to be worth it, but you can get... Well, I guess in a multi-day run, it's good. You can get car keys, which in a day 1 run, you don't want to see. Ooh, silver key's huge.
Silver key is amazing.
Yeah, and so I'm going to actually go to the courtyard again, simply because the bedroom is nice for my stamina. And I want to see if I can have 2 ways to go north because my entire goal for today... Nice.
We are not unlocking the extra blueprint because the reward is useless. It's a dead end and we don't need extra stars, really. The run is too short for 2 stars to be worth it. The nice thing about the silver key is we can get there's a few useful rooms that we can get, but the main advantage, I would say, is the fact that if you use the silver key on the edge of the map, because you cannot get 4-door rooms, the game will be more likely to give you 3-door rooms, and the pool is one of those rooms that we want to get.
All right. So this is unfortunately one I don't know. Okay, the statement on the blue box is true. If this is true, this should make this one false. Which
and it's in
make
black,
the gems then that checks out. If this is false,
yeah, it's. And it's also in black.
Yeah, I think it's black. It checks out.
Yeah, this is where it gets to the point where we don't have the puzzles memorized because there are too many of them.
I think. Ooh, okay. Unfortunate. We just take that as a extended farm. And we get Lucky Rabbit's Foot, which can actually help make the power hammer. So I think I draft weight room if I get it now, which I can get a broken lever in. And then hopefully our workshop gives us the battery. And that solves one of the main puzzles of getting to gear side.
Yeah, we need sledgehammer, battery pack, and broken lever to make the power hammer. And then we need to have a workshop. The workshop usually spawns one of the power hammer items. So... we don't have to worry about that usually, but it can screw us over. Like, it can give you like a coin purse or something stupid, but usually it helps.
Nice.
There's a coin purse, okay.
Thank you. Appreciate that. I need money. Oh.
No, what you need is to get that item off the pool. That's the real advantage.
True.
I didn't even know that dining room can spawn that. Library is interesting.
I don't have a util closet, and I don't want to get stuck again. Yeah, we'll take library here. If it's locked, I think I jammed the silver key.
Yeah, because Foundation, I think, counts as a 4-door room, so...
Rotunda.
Boiler is interesting. Yeah.
I think I just take the boiler and I do the puzzle in case I have to roll it later. Unfortunate. I do not enjoy doing this puzzle.
Yeah, boiler can technically be a win condition, but it's very unreliable for a run this short. We are not at all concerned about spawning a laboratory next to it. That's irrelevant. What we could get is a pump room, but it's not going to happen here probably because there's only 1 door that we have and we don't even have a pool. But it could help if we find a pump room next to it. But it's not the main way we are going to win, probably. It's very, very unlikely that the boiler room is good. Generally, the boiler room is bad for the speedrun because it's so slow to solve this puzzle to get around.
And I didn't actually need to solve it, but ooh, security again. I think I reroll.
Security can.
I don't. Oh, there's the weight room. I think I take it.
Gym? Oh,
I
okay,
think I
yeah.
take it. Oh no, I didn't get the broken lever. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, because we have the lucky rabbit's foot, it was quite likely to get an item there. Or maybe just like 50-50 or something.
We are so kitted out, but
Yeah, we are doing great for anti-chamber, but we don't have the gear side.
yeah, this is a little unfortunate. We're just trying to find.
We also don't have steps, which is a problem because of that weight room that we have to take.
Yeah, it is a little annoying that. And I'm unfortunately don't have a key card, so I have to try to avoid these rooms that spawn security door. Ooh, okay, that's a great.
Yeah, because not every door can give you security doors. Usually there's a few of them. Passageway was one of them, but we got lucky. Security was another of those rooms. That's why Taiwan didn't take it earlier, because you can get locked behind the security door, but library never has a security door. So that's why he took library. One of the reasons.
I think I'm gonna try. I think I'm just gonna waste all my rerolls to get a foundation here. I have 14 rerolls with a silver key.
Oh, because you got study, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Well, you have 10 because you can only reroll 8 times in the study.
Oh, you okay?
But yeah, because we use the silver key, it's more likely to give us rooms with more doors, and if we reroll, it still keeps the effect of the silver key. So this is the most effective way to use the rerolls. Annoyingly,
really
Chamber of Mirrors counts as a 4-door room.
Really loves giving me Great Hall. It really wants me to pick the Great Hall. Give me a foundation. Oh no, not like this.
Yeah, this sucks.
This is horrible.
This RNG is not.
Yeah,
And that's it. That's very unfortunate.
That was not ideal. Okay. The issue is all three of these are rooms with security doors too.
Yeah, I think you take security to make it low.
Yeah, I think
for the rest
I think I take security. That was what I was thinking as well.
You're fine.
Yeah, and I'm gonna set it to low now.
Yeah, there's no reason to have it on high, especially because you have so many keys. But yeah, that was very unlucky that he didn't roll the foundation. Or a pool, even. The pool was also an option.
Yeah, actually insane. That was a lot of rerolls.
Instead, you got like drawing room 4 times or something.
Unfortunate. And I don't really want to draft the archives either.
You could reroll.
I'll reroll once, yeah.
Wow, okay.
I think I have to draft archives. I don't want to have 0 gems because that's also really bad.
This is the definition of marathon lag, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately, this
is... Okay, utility closet could work.
It's good, but nice. I'm kind of at the last spot that I can draft foundation. I only have 2 more doors that can
That's true.
I can spawn foundation in 4 more locations.
Yeah, you can't spawn foundation if it's touching the antechamber, but you can spawn it in the diagonal.
Yeah,
the diagonal sides.
I have 4 shots of foundation left. This could be foundation.
I mean, just take it. Why not?
I'm gonna pick it. Yeah, it is a dark room.
That's like the worst one.
Gross. Okay,
and maybe not the worst one. But...
hopefully, this is a foundation. It is a bathroom, and that cannot be a foundation. Maybe it can be a util closet.
It can be a pool.
It can be I don't think I'm gonna spend the gem. I think I'm just gonna try to go for a util closet. Okay. It's a furnace. It's even worse.
You shouldn't spend the gem.
It's even
worse.
The
furnace is going to give us more red rooms.
Okay.
That's not good. I mean, we have most of our red rooms already, but we had made this chamber, which is bad.
This is cloister.
That's a cloister, yeah.
I'm gonna reroll here.
Or an attic. It could be. Could be an attic.
I can get another silver key in billiard room. Let's go for it.
Fun fact, the room in the right was an aquarium because it's the only red room that costs 1 gem. And you can tell that it's a red room because we have the furnace and there's like fire in the drafting, and that fire is telling you that the furnace is taking effect and it's spawning a red room.
Mm-hmm. And just to explain
so
how
that we could actually know that it was an aquarium.
This puzzle works before I do the last one is blue is addition, yellow subtraction, pink is multiplication, and then you work inner to outer. So it'd be 9 minus 1, 8 times 2, 16.
Yeah, hopefully we are not going to see anything
And I got a key
like...
card. That does... I mean...
Yeah, that's the worst possible reward. Billiards can give you really good rewards. You can get a silver key, you can get a secret garden key. But the key card is usually not good, especially when you have the security disabled, which we don't, but we are so close to the end that we don't need the key card.
There's a banana. I can go grab it. Well, this is horrible.
I think you call it a day here, right?
I have one more
can't
shot
get
at
a
foundation. I have one more shot at foundation. So we'll go for it. And if we don't get a foundation, that is just horrible luck. It is not faced toward... I mean...
Pool?
Pool, sure.
Go for it.
Go left. No, it went... Every door went right. That is unfortunate. All right, next day.
Yeah, this was not a good day, unfortunately.
It is horrible.
Usually you get at least one, like a pool or a foundation, or at least you get... Especially with so many rerolls that you had. Because you got a study, which is like one of the best rooms in the game.
I don't know how I didn't get a foundation with the silver key.
But then you didn't get anything from the rerolls.
That's crazy. That was 10 reroll.
Yeah.
So
with a silver key.
With a silver key. I don't understand. Oh, well.
Just because you can't die in this game doesn't mean it doesn't want to hurt you.
I remember that
Exactly.
like mental anguish line I said earlier. Oh, man. Oh, well. We go again. And that's probably why I enjoy speedrunning this game, is that the go again level is so high. Ooh, shelter's nice. I'll pick the shelter.
Yeah, also that entire level is the reason why we are not doing day one in the marathon. That entire showcase of a day two is the reason why we don't do day one in the marathon, I mean.
Yeah, I think it's on average like 5 to 7 hours to get a day one run, even if you do everything perfectly. So we are trying our best to just get a completion here. Ew. I will take the
people who are trying to get the day one trophy are always suffering with this. Or they just do the glitch.
Yeah, so as reference for the audience, the world record, which is held by you, normally involves a lot of resetting, like you just talked about. And then he was kind enough to come up with a marathon safe-ish, I'll say ish based on what's happening, strategy so that we could showcase this all for y'all today. So, we got to give props to Taiwan for all of the work he's put into, not only in the day one world record stuff that he's been doing. I think you have like hundreds, if not over 1,000 runs at this point, but also the work that he's doing to make sure that we can show this off in a marathon safe way, because it's not easy and this game does not always cooperate.
Oh, I hate this. Sorry, not to your statement. I just hate the draft. Everything is bad. No items either.
Yeah, so even with all the bad things that have happened, we're still on pace to... We can still beat the estimate. We just need a good day
I
here.
have to use a key here. Only money.
I mean, maybe you restart the day and you go hope for tomb and generally just restart this entire thing that just happened.
Potentially, yeah. But let me see. The gems...
you also lost your 2 gems, so I think it might be worth calling it.
That's true. And this must be true. That doesn't help me, so this must be false. It's true. That's false. Oh, wait. Oh my gosh. All right. So this is obviously false. 2 statements are false. So if this is true, this would make this false, which would make...
It has to be true because it can't be false. So it's in the white box.
Yeah.
But that draw in the corner that he got furnace, kitchen, laundry room, that was terrible.
My head. Okay. This is obviously false. If this is true, 2 statements are now false, then this has to be false. So the gems are in a box with a true statement. So it lines up to here, and then I'm just going to say if this is false, only 1 statement is false. It can't be because they break that, so it isn't white. Yep. My head. This game.
This reminds me of that classic, like there's 2 doors and there's 2 statues outside and one always tells the truth and one always lies. And what question do you ask to figure out which door to go into? Like,
it is very inspired by that, but there's a rule where you can have 2 trues, 1 false, or 2 false, 1 true, and that is what adds.
No, you can also have 1 and then 1 non-statement.
Oh, true. You can also have a statement be blank. I did not get a garage. Oh my goodness. You know
Yeah,
what?
this is a rare situation where the garage doesn't pop
I have
up when
zero
it should.
keys. We're just gonna go till we get a locked door, which is probably this. I called it.
Yeah, that day was just ridiculous from the start. Just no resources, a bunch of rooms that gave nothing at the start.
It started well with the security util combo, and then we just got completely zero farm. That's so fun. Now the parlor room gets harder. Oh, every day is worse.
Yeah, you basically just made the thing harder by solving it.
No, it
So then you couldn't even use the gems.
It scales by day if you don't solve it, I think. I've definitely skipped the parlor.
Is there a day cap, or could you go up to like day 150 and it just keeps getting harder?
No, people in their casual playthroughs go for like day 100 plus for sure. But like the parlor, I think, has a cap at some point. I mean, it has to have a cap. I just don't know when it is.
It does continuously. Oh, this is one of the worst tool sheds I've ever seen in my entire life. You know, I said I wasn't gonna do this, but the RNG is so bad. I need help. Unfortunately, I'm gonna grab a blueprint, which is kind of at the end of a very long, lengthy puzzle. But I need some help currently. I need a win con very badly. So we're gonna go ahead and grab the conservatory blueprint, and the conservatory allows us to change the rarity of blueprints, so we can make.
If you don't want to see
rare.
the solution, you can look away for like 15 seconds.
Yeah. So if you don't want to get spoiled, go ahead and look away for now, and then we'll call when it is okay to look back. Okay, and it should be pretty good to look back now. And there is no day limit. You can go as many days as you want.
Has that been theoretically tested?
I
guess
think someone went over 1,000,
Okay.
To my knowledge.
Because there's always oftentimes a hard cap on like number of digits. So I was like, obviously there's a 2-digit and there's a 3-digit. What if we went to 4-digit, 5-digit? Like, does the game just break?
I would not be surprised if it did, honestly. Okay, I have some paths. All right, let's get some farm going. Hallway's great here.
Yeah, we can get the conservatory in the corner, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully we get the conservatory here.
The conservatory can adjust the rates of certain rooms,
And it can
which
only
could be very
spawn
useful
in
to
the
make the rare
corners,
rooms
which
more
is
likely than we
why
need.
We wanted to get it there. It's all good, though. We're getting a decent farm now. This is more normal for a run. And this is why I like day one, is because you have more stable beginning. It's just more... Oh, gosh. Okay. If this is true, they
That's
can't
false,
be... This is
yeah,
false. This is
'cause-
obviously false. The other two boxes... This is
That's
also false, so
false.
this is true. The other two boxes are empty. Perfect. That was actually a lot easier than the last one. Appreciate that. And I'm not going to use Den there. Mostly
Wait,
because we don't want to waste the good room without it leading.
I thought you
anywhere.
locked out yourself for a second, but you have the courtyard door, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and I'm gonna.
Yeah, so today we really need to get something going, either the pool or a foundation, power hammer, something.
Yeah, I'm gonna choose Chapel to go north. Unfortunately, kind of locks. Do I open it? I'll open it.
I think you should, yeah.
I'll just open it.
You can get rerolls.
2 keys, perfect.
Okay,
We're
yeah.
up infinite.
Worth it.
Corridor here for sure. We need a tea room pretty badly. We have to take bedroom and pray. Hopefully I get a key. I got card keys.
Bedroom, by the way, in day one always has a chest, but not in the subsequent days. But if you pick it on day one, it will always have a chest. The contents are not the same, though, unfortunately.
I'm going to go ahead and just set security now. Any item? Nope. Okay. And we're going to go to low for now until we get a util closet or a key card.
Also, you might think it's bad to pick a 3-door room in the middle of nowhere like this, but the thing about it is we can actually get some benefit out of it if we get a silver key. Because we are getting 3-door rooms out of the way, we can be more likely to get a pool or something else that we need because we're just removing some cards from the deck.
That's so rude to give me a study when I can't pick it. That's actually... Oh, and I have to pick the drawing room. Unfortunate. It's all good. And luckily, with the recent quality of life patch, we don't have to enter the safe key every single day. Sucks having to use a key to get to the garage, but no, it bugged. I got pantry. No, it happens.
Oh, no.
No, if you pick it too fast, it chooses the other one. Oh no, we're in shambles.
Yeah, that's a bug.
Oh, and I wasted
Unfortunately,
the key. Oh no, we really need a
if you
foundation.
click too fast, it gives you the room on the left
We
instead
really
of
need
the
a
room you
foundation.
want.
We are in shambles right now. This is red
Yeah,
alert.
you have to wait like 0.2 seconds or something. That's really unfortunate.
This is horrible. I love it.
That's why you run this game.
Oh, this is so weird.
Yeah, take the cloister
I have to
probably.
take the cloister. Yeah.
Well, speaking of going too fast, I can let everyone know that we do have our annual Sonic Hotfix event, which is back with Sonic and the Sega All-Stars live on June 14th and 15th at 12 p.m. Eastern. And this year, we're expanding beyond Sonic speedruns to include other iconic Sonic franchises. So type !Sonic in chat for the full schedule and let us know what you're excited to see. But for me, right now, I'm excited to see more bad RNG.
I have never seen the hall pass in my life. Oh, I have never seen a hall
the
pass
cloister
in my
upgrade
life.
we picked has a higher chance of giving items in bedrooms, but unfortunately we did not get a good one. I don't even know what you can get from that upgrade. I don't think I ever picked up that upgrade.
I think you can get rerolls in a bedroom. See,
Nice. Okay, that.
It's
Yeah,
nice.
take it.
It's nice, but I've already done the outer room, so if I could drain the fountain, actually. Hold on.
I think you just drain the reservoir and then go for a tomb or reset for a tomb or something.
Yeah, but then I still need to get the antechamber. I think I reset for fountain, right? Oh no, I can't. Never mind. You're right. It is reservoir.
Yeah, take the reservoir. If you get, we need the pump room first. So
Mm-hmm.
We've got a lot of people asking about the hall pass. What is it? What does it do? What happened? Why is it so bad?
It's just a stamina. The hallway gem cost is pretty cool, but the main thing is most hallways don't have gems. Ooh, all of them are locked.
yeah, it's also not that easy to connect to hallways in
opened
the
left.
start of the run because a lot of the hallways need to be unlocked or something.
Yeah, it's more useful when you have upgrades. So certain rooms will have combos. I think do I pray? I spare room pray or billiard for keys?
Billiard, I think.
Billiard, yeah. Yeah,
You
but
can get Secret Garden and there's a
that's
chance that you get a run today, right?
there's
Maybe
a
not.
chance. The issue I'm having is if that door to the south is locked, we are in shambles again. Oh God, I have to think.
I mean, you can get 2 keys here as well.
True.
But yeah, draining, if we get a pump
Silver key?
room,
Okay.
draining the reservoir, we can cross the boat from the tomb side and that gives us access to the gear.
Yeah. Okay. I think I opened silver key on the pool side and just hope that it's a foundation. Surely we don't miss foundation for the 18th time, right?
We do apparently.
Locker room though. Locker room.
Aquarium can have items because it's a bedroom.
Yeah, but I need keys. I need keys.
That's probably good
Now I
too.
have to go search for keys though. I don't have. Oh no, everything's in shambles.
Yeah, that's another problem with the locker room. It can have security door.
And now I have to search every room for keys because I don't have a. Unfortunately, I don't have a metal detector. Makes it easy.
How do you get a? Do you get a locker room from the silver key because of the lockers? There's a key there. There's a key there
There's a
behind
key
you.
there. Yeah.
In
I'm gonna
the
go open the
necklace.
pantry as well. I can get a key in here.
Do you get the locker room because of the lockers? That's silly.
I think I
Because
just
it's
got
a
bad
2-door
RNG.
room.
I think I
right?
just got bad RNG. Why is this locked? Why is this door locked? Oh my goodness. This
I don't think we care about opening that door.
No, I think I go back to billiard. We're going next. This is
You also
so
can't get
unfortunate.
foundation on the sides because of
Yeah.
obviously you need to activate the lever. So it's technically a 4-door room, the foundation, even though it's technically 3 doors.
We are in shambles right now. Secret pass. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, they have to take the kitchen.
Yeah, but if it's
Secret passage is a nice way to reliably spawn the Great Hall. The problem is we don't have any space and we also can't use the Great Hall at the moment.
okay. This is so weird. I hate everything about this current situation.
We can deactivate the security doors, so now we can go back to the locker room. That's why we pick utility closet.
Yeah. I think I go back to security as well. I know our stamina is low, but we're not getting anything else. How far is that one?
Oh, yeah, because you didn't deactivate the door, right?
I did, but I set it to low. So I need to set it back to high to hopefully chain some rooms without needing a key.
I think you hope for a pump room, but yeah.
Yeah, I hope
You
for a
just hope for
pump room and then hope to get a
new day.
foundation, I think is really where we're at in this current situation.
Or a pump room.
Okay. This is unfortunate.
But yeah, the reason why the secret passage can spawn the Great Hall is because you pick a hallway and there's not enough options for a hallway, so the game has to give you the Great Hall there. You can also use other things like a foyer to make an eventual Great Hall free. You don't have to spend any keys, but usually when we see secret passage, it means Great Hall.
I can also hopefully get
Usually.
it like a patio or something. Oh, it's the wrong way. All right,
Yeah,
actually,
that's
okay. The library is actually good here. Okay. We're ordering a book makes
Yeah,
the library more likely.
Yeah, and we can pick the book that has drafting tutorial, which is...
I need help with drafting. That's true.
Yes. No, just kidding.
We are
No,
in
we think that ordering a book makes it more likely for the library to spawn the next day. I'm not sure if it's a thing or if it's a placebo. That's just something I came up with, but it might not be true. Honestly, but we don't really have any other options to pick there, so...
Yeah, unfortunately, we did end up dead ending still.
I think you wait for rerolls here.
Well, I didn't get the pump room, so I think I just opened this
Yeah,
for a
that's true,
tool
yeah.
shed.
Yeah.
If I got
Toolshed
pump
or
room
maybe
and I
Schoolhouse
drained,
could
then
help
this
as
could be a
well.
win con, but unfortunately, we did not. Schoolhouse is good.
Schoolhouse, yeah.
Oh, the shelter. I mean, Schoolhouse gives me rerolls.
Yeah, I think the rerolls are important here.
I think the rerolls are the most important.
Yeah, we pick Schoolhouse. We don't care about the puzzle. Obviously, we care about having more opportunities to get foundation from the rerolls. We do need the gems to get the Schoolhouse, like the classrooms. But hopefully that works.
And I do not want a library this early.
Okay, my theory seems to be proving right with this library in the first room.
But I definitely don't want... Ew, this is also not very good. We'll take pantry here. I don't want to waste the hallway. I'll take pantry here.
If you don't get it this day, do you play one more or?
I think I want my library at least rank 4. At least rank 4. We'll take the walk-in closet.
I mean, if you don't finish the run, like, do we do one more day or?
I think this might be the final day, if I'm going to be honest with the current time. But I'll leave that up to Cutie.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is very unfortunate compared to all the practice runs, honestly.
Hey, we knew this was a risk going in. That's why it's a showcase. We came in with no promises. But I'll have to defer to you because I'm not sure on the timing. How are we feeling? Do we think it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour? What do we think is
So
what's
that's
going
the
on?
problem is... One second. Let me do this real quick. Isn't it white? I think it's just white, if I remember correctly. So the issue is we can just never... Technically, you can just never get the option. It's unlikely not to. We're only 2 pieces away from actually completing room 46, but it's probably best if I don't get it today or at worst the next day to probably just move on to the glitch showcase just because of how long it can take to actually find the answer we need.
Okay, yeah, let's reassess after the end of this day, and if you're not feeling closer or confident, we can definitely showcase the glitch to make sure that we, see the ending and get there.
You skipped a key card, by the way.
Did I have a key card?
Yeah, in the conference room.
Oh my gosh! I thought it blended in. All right, nice. Good eyes. Good eyes.
I've never seen a keycard spawn there.
I didn't even know a keycard could spawn in a conference room. I'll be really honest with you.
I think you probably start taking classrooms, right? Because you have 7 gems.
Here, yes. Here, I definitely do. I wanted to get higher up in the house to get a more shot at a good place foundation.
Yeah, I think at this point any foundation works, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just because of...
I mean, potentially we can win today. What we need is antechamber.
Ideally, we get the foundation closer to the antechamber, so we don't have to backtrack as much because steps could be a problem. But yeah, I think at this point we are desperate for anything that we can get. setting security to high, obviously,
That's so funny.
so that more security doors spawn. We have a key card, so it's fine.
I think I'm just gonna set.
I think you take a gym, right?
I'm just gonna set it there. Just move on. I know it keeps the gym in the pool. Ew. Oh wait, no, this works.
Oh, okay, that's yeah.
This actually works.
Do you have a sledgehammer? No.
I don't know. Unfortunately, I do not.
Because
have a
power
sledgehammer.
hammer could be another route as well.
Yeah, we only got a gem though. I do not have a corridor placed, so I should probably.
We have a vault key, which is useless for the speedrun.
And we don't want to see
That's
a secret
not a good
passage.
secret passage.
No, we don't. Commissary is like okay.
That's not a good secret passage because it leads to the wing, and we cannot spawn
One off.
great holder.
sledgehammer. Oh wait,
We could spawn something else, but
Okay.
not really anything we need.
so we did get a sled.
It's really annoying that all the rooms we want are blue, so the color picking function doesn't actually work. Because you can't pick blue rooms. That's why the best thing to pick is usually the Great Hall.
We are desperate.
The foundation is basically a 4-door room in the sense that you can only draft it in places where you can draft 4-door rooms, but you also need to be able to access every side of it, so you cannot get it next to the antechamber. But that's basically it. It can draft anywhere that you can get a 4-door room, you can get a foundation.
Okay, classroom here is decent. So
Yeah,
I
this
get
is
some
where we go for it, I
rerolls.
think.
Yep, for sure.
And if we don't get the foundation, we can also get another classroom and keep chaining classrooms. That is an option.
Oh, 2 more redraws.
Yeah, maybe you take it now.
I think I just take it now. Yeah, just keep the chain going.
Because you might not get another one, or it might be facing the wrong way.
Yeah, I think that is definitely the play for sure. We just keep chaining.
Yeah, foundation is very unlikely, but it usually doesn't take this long to find.
No, this is very peculiar not to see a foundation by now. We're out of keys too. All right, 5 redraws, surely. Oh my goodness. Oh my
Nope,
goodness.
nothing.
I get a study.
Study, wow.
Oh my god! I'll take the study.
You can still get it from the hallway,
Yeah,
but
I
yeah.
get rerolls in the study.
Wow, that's
This is I don't want to say the word that this has never happened before, but
this
this
has
has never happened before. It's classic. Oh, we love marathon runs. This is so classic. I am happy.
Somebody who knows the math on this, whether that's you or someone else, go back, watch the
I don't know if anyone knows the math,
Okay.
but from experience, it seems like it's never taken this long, at least.
That's one of my favorite things when like you're playing some game of chance, whether it's cards or roguelike or whatever, you look back at the stats and you're like, great, that was a 0.2, 0.3% chance or whatever. I'd love to
Broken
know.
lever. I can make power hammer if I find workshop.
Yeah, that's an out, actually, if you can find a workshop.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we have hope.
We have hope. First positive news.
I take the corridor here.
Take the
yeah?
corridor, I guess.
Yeah. And then
yeah.
and then I go to conference room first. Conference room first. This is
Yeah, we still need to get antechamber too, which is probably not happening in this.
yeah,
day.
but if we have this done, it's a lot easier. So hopefully I can get to my workshop from here.
Drawing room.
No, because I want a shot at foundation as well. I think I just
I mean, you have it on. Oh yeah, I know.
Nice.
I know.
All right,
There
battery
it is.
pack, battery pack. Come on.
pack.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, we have something.
We have something.
We got 1 bit of good RNG.
Okay.
Yes. So with the power hammer, we can go back outside through the entrance hall, and we can break the wall that's down the stairs, and that gives us access to the basement, which is the same thing we get from foundation.
Hopefully I get shoes here. I have no keys though. I don't even know what the odds are of me to actually get up top.
I think you open the basement and okay, I guess.
Yeah, but I'm
you
blocked.
didn't.
It's fine. Yeah, we just opened the basement, but we are only one piece away from actually finishing.
Yeah, we just need to get to the antechamber now,
Yeah.
which is quite easy to do if you know what you're doing in general.
Yeah. So luckily we can actually win tomorrow.
All right.
I'm surprised we got Power Hammer.
I can give you an extra 10 minutes. I'll eke it out.
Yeah, we should get it in 10, 12 minutes at most.
Oh no, I'm teasing you. We're gonna see the end. We're gonna do it.
That is so funny that we made Power Hammer before getting Foundation. Like, that is so. How many rerolls did I do for
And
Foundation?
we also didn't get the pump room.
That's insane. Like, collectively, it was like 25-ish rerolls, and 10 of them were in a silver key.
Yeah. There might be a reason why maybe Foundation can't spawn in that situation. Also, I think you don't do this, right? Because you have to do it tomorrow anyways.
Well, I still set up the gear, yeah.
Okay, yeah. But you can set the gear tomorrow.
Nah, I set it today.
Oh, you can grab Mechanarium. No, grab
Yeah,
Mechanarium.
I can grab Mechanarium. It's another win condition. I'll do it today. And plus, now
Yeah,
I can
yeah,
show
yeah,
off
yeah.
the rail. This is the.
Oh, yeah,
I
this
can
is
show
a
off the
very
speed
stupid
tech.
strat.
Did I get first try? Oh, I got a first try. Woo!
Wow, yeah, that's a very hard jump to get. That's a
Okay,
very, very hard
so
jump.
to explain the rail, wow, I can't believe I got that first try and it took me 3 in my PB. The rail is a way to jump over the boxes and skip most of that cart puzzle, which you would traditionally do by moving like 5 carts, and it takes like 2 minutes. We just did the entire puzzle in closer to like 30 seconds. The tech of that is there's a invisible rail that tries to keep Simon on top of the dresser. And if we jump off the dresser at its max height and we flick our mouse to the right, Simon then steps on top of the rail and then he kind of parkours over and is then able to, just skip over the box. And normally, there's a slowdown over that specific box that we skip that causes Simon not to be able to naturally jump over it. But by grinding the rail, we don't get the slowdown, and that is how we are then able to skip that puzzle, which is cool. And we got a first try.
Yeah, we also skip like 70% of that puzzle in general. Like even after not doing the first, you have to get a card normally, like an extra card to use it, and we just skip that with the rail jump. But we also skip a second part of the puzzle where you have to move a bunch of crates to make the second jump, and we just jump over the gap.
Yep.
The gap. That the devs probably just allowed that to remain in the game because they were like, okay, if somebody finds it, they can just use it. And we did find it.
You might be wondering what I'm doing here is I'm trying to grab the Mechanarium blueprint and also setting up my gear so where I don't have to move it anymore past today. But grabbing the Mechanarium blueprint does add a significant amount of time, but it is another win condition to getting into the antechamber because all we're missing now is just that.
Yeah, this gear also remains in the position that you leave it. It doesn't reset each day. So we are actually spending some time here, but in the day after when we go for the room 46 lever, we are going to have it in the correct position already. So it's a bit of an investment. And we also get the Mechanarium. The Mechanarium is a very weird room that it spawns more doors the more mechanic rooms you have in your house. And what happens is if it can't spawn more doors because you can only get 4 doors, if it cannot spawn more doors, it spawns a door in a diagonal direction, and that opens up a little cove or something. It has an antechamber level, which is the west antechamber level. So it is another way that we can open the antechamber. So here the main things we are going to do the room 46 first. So we are going to go to the same place we did, and we are going to open first the outer room, but then we are going to go back to the gear, activate the room 46 lever, which does reset each day. So we had to do it in this day. We cannot do it in the previous one. And then the only thing left to do is reach the antechamber. Sledgehammer and shovel.
Not bad. If we're risking it all, I should go ahead and pull the lever. Sledgehammer is good. It lets us open trunk boxes for free. Shovel's good. We can get extra keys. And now we just need to get to the antechamber and we win. So we've done every prerequisite.
We could grab the lost and found, but it's not a very good floor plan for our purposes because you lose a random item and the items you get are not that useful for just getting to the antechamber, really. They're very good for other things, but not for anything we need in the speedrun.
And the cool thing about pulling the room 46 lever first is we get music the entire time we're going through the house that is like extra cinematic and epic and like somber all at once. So that's going to make drafting a lot more. Maybe it makes me chill out so I don't accidentally bug my garage and put myself into a weird situation.
Yeah, just don't soft lock in the bedroom or something.
Yeah. And then the best tool shed is Sledgehammer Battery Pack, simply because it gives you 2 components to create a power hammer. But
yeah,
like,
in this case, because we already have it, it's probably something else, right? Like metal detector maybe and something else.
Mm-hmm.
Metal detector is nice because it can give you information in the crate hole, so you can only you can do it with only spending 1 key. And there's other things you can get, I'm sure, that are useful. Lockpick, I think you can get.
Yeah, you get a lockpick, watering can, which is good for gems. What else can you get? It's been forever. All right.
So yeah, we're going to hopefully get to the antechamber today, and if we can't get it, then we will just show the glitch run.
Yeah, we did all the prerequisites. We did all the puzzles that you need to do, where you go into tomb, move the chests. We get access to the underground for the gear, to move the gear and actually pull the 46 lever. So all the setup is complete. All we need now is just to unlock the antechamber, and room 46 is there for us. No pressure on me to get there.
Yeah, so ideally if we get a trunk can spawn a secret garden key. So secret garden key, we can spawn it on the west, and we can just go to the west door. Billiards can also give us secret garden key. Otherwise, a silver key makes it more likely to get the Great Hall. Secret passage can spawn the Great Hall. If we find a broken lever, greenhouse can be a play. So also we have a sledgehammer. Maybe we make another power hammer. That's unlikely, but that could also work.
Yeah, I wish I had a code check to actually check that in. I actually forgot to draft north. Hopefully that's actually better. I can get
the conservatory.
This I'm not even.
I would not pick it.
I'm not even gonna look
it.
at it. It doesn't deserve to even be picked. It came way too late.
The conservatory was for the foundation or the pool,
no.
but yeah, no longer useful.
No longer. Hopefully I get a trunk. I did not get a trunk. Oh well.
The rooms that can spawn trunks, extra trunks, are the bedroom, the den, the nook, courtyard, the pump room, which is a funny one, the laboratory, and I think I'm forgetting one, but something else, something that you get very early. Well, I guess the hallway, but you need an upgrade.
Observatory, pump room, library.
Observatory, really?
Yeah, observatory can have a trunk. Ooh, spare room. Nice.
I've never seen it in observatory.
A bunk room can have a double trunk. Oh my God, go away. Go away, I don't need you anymore. You're useless to me. No. Where were you 3 days ago? Does not have a state. That's true.
Well, in the,
so this is false.
It was...
The gems are in a box without a statement. Or not in a box with a statement.
Yeah.
So it's white?
It's white, yeah.
Okay. I was about to overthink it there. I think I'd take West Wing Hall.
You can get battery pack maybe, but...
Yeah, but I don't really need the battery pack anymore. I want to just get...
For a weight room. Okay. I think you get garage.
I want to get the garage, so I picked the dark room, get the garage, and then I think I draft from spare room with a corridor. Yeah, we just get the garage.
Yeah, if you get 2 rooms that cost a gem, it can be really annoying because you have to take a 50-50. But as long as it's only 1 room that costs a gem, because of what we said earlier, the garage is very easy to predict. So we were very certain that was going to be a garage. I think it can be a patio sometimes.
It can be a patio, yeah. Chapel's good here.
Usually it's not. There are some weird situations where the garage doesn't spawn, even though it should always spawn as soon as you get to rank 4.
I think I take passive
in the first
here.
option.
I have key card. I should just try to find a win con.
Library. Maybe you can get a secret passage.
Yeah.
Or just a great hall.
Yeah.
Treasure map is not. Oh, you have a shovel.
I have a shovel. I know, it's weird. Ballroom.
That could be good.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I think I like it. Yeah.
I do like the ballroom. Look at this music. I I have to pick the archives.
I think you have to pick the archives, sadly. So now we are kind of hoping for that nothing important gets archived.
We're really just hoping for secret passage at this point in time.
Yeah, or billiards, I guess. We don't have billiards
We
yet.
don't have billiards, yeah, so I'll pick the archive for billiards. Ooh, this is a decent pantry. Not gonna lie. I have farm. I can just go back for farm. I'll just take it slow. Make sure we get as many options as we can.
Just play it safe.
Yep.
Also, a good advantage of farming here is if you get bad rooms, you just get them out of the way.
How many-
Oh, Mechanarium can spawn something, I think. No, but you don't have any mechanical
I don't have any
rooms.
mechanical rooms. It's actually really awkward. I think I take the archive.
Yeah, you can't pick it.
Oh, that's actually decent.
That's unfortunate.
I got a reroll. Good.
I think you need 2 mechanic rooms for that to give you a lever.
2 sides were blocked. Yeah, I needed 2. I think I just take the bunk room in this situation. Hopefully I get some like gems. Keys. Actually, keys could be good with the Great Hall.
Keys work, yeah.
All right, we are really just hoping for a secret passage, Great Hall, and then we just go straight down. We are praying. This could be secret passage. I think I take the gym. I think I take the gym. There's no reason to greed that. Ooh, my stamina.
I mean, you have everything open, so you don't need stamina.
Yeah. Corridor?
Courtyard probably for the 2 gems.
Yeah, but then I'm like, it's fine. It's fine.
Mm.
How do I not have my
And
billiard?
you have ballroom, yeah, you can just go back to ballroom.
Yeah, how do I not have my billiard though?
That's not useful, I think.
No, I think I reroll for Great Hall.
Yeah.
This could be Great Hall. I just take the dining
Hope
room
for
when we
it.
get Great Hall somewhere else. That's fine. And I want to go back down to pantry, I think. We'll just eat and move back. This archive is really, really driving me insane though.
You can sometimes save a few seconds if you eat from the other side of the table. In this case, it's not worth it, but sometimes because the camera has to move over and it always moves over to one side of the table, you can actually save a bit of time if you eat from the correct side.
This
Just
could be
minor
secret
optimization.
passage. Should I just risk it?
Yeah, go for it,
Yeah.
because you can get your gem back.
Oh my
Nice.
goodness. I have no more rerolls
And
though.
now we pick hallway, and Great Hall should be guaranteed here.
Yeah. Great Hall.
That has to be Great Hall,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. We're fine.
And the,
So here
the lever can only spawn.
the lever can only spawn in the sides,
Yep.
in the corners. And it's always opposite to the upgrade disc. So now we got an upgrade disc. The lever can only spawn here or in the other corner. So
Nice.
it's a 50-50 after finding the upgrade disc.
Okay.
So you can actually predict the lever very well.
We can win here as long as we don't get trolled. So we're
Yeah,
getting
we just
trolled.
need a room that turns left.
Oh, we're
That's
gonna
the
get
only
trolled.
thing we need.
Oh, this is my
that is-
this room is my enemy. This specific square. I'm gonna open this in case there's a reroll.
Get that dead end out of the way. Get the... No, yeah, take the yeah.
Billiard. I can get a silver key. I can get a silver key. Oh my gosh, give me a silver key. Okay.
Maximum safety.
Maximum safety.
Just go for
I'm
the silver
so
key.
tired. Oh wait, that's 2. Oh my gosh, that's divide. That's divide. Oopsie, I made a mistake. Oh my god, it's getting
Yeah,
more
silver key
complicated.
should guarantee that we get a 3-door room, so we always connect to the antechamber. What we really don't want is to get everything turning to the right.
And I don't
That's
think I
the
opened this.
really bad
Well,
thing.
actually, I get a dead end room here. Let's just try to get as many dead ends out of the way. Nursery is a
Yeah,
dead end room. It can give me rerolls. It can give me
I-
rerolls. No.
Okay. I was going to say, if you don't get your gem back, you lock yourself off of music room.
Of office, yeah, that's true. That could have been a mistake.
It worked. It worked out.
Oh,
it
yeah,
worked
no,
out.
you know what?
Okay.
We get there. We get there every time. We get there every time.
Commissary.
Oh my
And
gosh.
GG.
That was
time when we touched the room. the door.
and my camera time. That was
That was
that
something.
was so mentally anguishing.
I just typed in chat that I am so scared right now, and you can't even die in this game.
As I was saying, the mental anguish is honestly, I'd rather die. You know, all good. Holy
Well,
cow, we did
we
it.
still, it's like 2 minutes for glitched, right? We promised glitched. Let's do glitched real fast. Let's knock
Yep.
it out.
Yeah.
Blink and you miss it, and then we'll go to a quick break and keep moving along. But I want to see glitched. I've been intentionally not seeing this because I didn't want to spoil it, but I'm really curious what the glitch is.
I'm gonna leave that save. That save deserves to be forever immortalized. Okay, so the glitch speedrun is the time starts the same time. I'll do a 3, 2, 1. There is a lot of flashing on the screen. Forewarned. Early on in the glitched run. So as soon as I pick up the blueprint, you have about 10 seconds, 8 seconds or so to look away. So I'll give you that warning, and then I will let you know when it's okay to look back at the screen if you do have photosensitivity. Oh, and time already started. I'm so sorry. I missed the timer start. I apologize.
We can
Yeah,
frame.
I'm going to let
it.
you explain this one.
Okay,
it's a
so
world
if
record.
you have photosensitivity, look away now. I almost did not do the warning, so I'm going to wait an extra 2 seconds before I start the trick. And I'll do the trick and then do an explanation as soon as the trick is complete. All right, perfect. You can now look back if you have photosensitivity. And so what we just did is we performed an out of bounds where we used the stairs to launch Simon off with the spacebar. I don't want to fall yet. There is actually, Simon can jump. As evidenced by going into the gym and losing your stamina, Simon can jump. And so jumping off of stairs allows Simon to actually enter the air. And if you use a blueprint or a directory menu, you can then pause yourself mid-air and redirect your momentum. And that allows us to go out of bounds. And then you can then do the same thing to clip kind of back into bounds to the main area. We draft out of bounds to force... What happens if you're not actually... If you don't have the door loaded, it forces the room that you did spawn to be on the outside, which allows us to clip back in to like the top level, and then we can spawn the tunnel. And here, hopefully I don't mess this up, I can land on the tunnel. Okay, I did it. Whew. And when you land on the tunnel, you can then just walk straight to the room 40. I fell. No. No. Okay, back up. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no.
You can make it back there, right?
I should. Okay, I can use that, but I can't. Ooh, that's really awkward. How do I get back down? I can get back down by going all the way back. This kills my stamina, though. I should go all the way over here. Of course, I followed the tunnel at the very end. I got too excited.
Yeah, so the idea is we just hit the antechamber level, and then we can skip the cutscene and activate room 46 while in the cutscene, which is really funny.
Hopefully this lets us drop back down. Okay, try number 2. So what I did there was when I jump backwards towards the boat, there's a loading trigger that causes the tunnel to then spawn. And because the tunnel is now spawned... Actually, you know what? I'm going to take a safe strat. No, I don't want to. Should I? I'm going to take a safe strat here. I'm just going to float by hopefully not pausing too much to the lever. It's slower, but it's... Hopefully we get there, because I would like to do a safe strat. Okay, cool. We made it. And now we can hit the lever behind it. And I didn't get the cutscene skip. Let's try again. I got the cutscene skip. And now we can move while the cutscene is going, and hopefully we touch time. We touched the room 46 during the cutscene.
And that's time.
I almost
we
panicked.
touched the door during the cutscene, so we can actually just reach room 46 during the lever cutscene.
Oh
Well,
my goodness, I
GGs.
almost panicked. Whew. My heart.
We are a little bit over time, so I'll give you a quick, 15, 20 seconds. If you have any shout outs, Twitch channel, where to follow you, anything like that you want to do, and then we're going to go straight to break.
Yep. Sorry again for going over. Thanks everyone
Not
for
your fault.
watching. Shout outs to everyone in the Blueprints Discord for all the speed tech. Vision Elf, Summug Gaming, Blacken for commentary. If you created the strats for the glitch run, you know exactly who you are.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome back. When I said a quick break, I meant it. So we are back with Oblivion Remastered Glitchless Main Quest with Captain Ezekiel and their commentary team. Let's go ahead and bring you both in. How are you doing today?
Hey there, I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on. And hi everyone, I'm Captain Ezekiel. I'm mostly known for horror speedruns. I've been on Hotfix quite a few times. You probably see me run a Resident Evil game or 10. I'm here to do Oblivion, all main quests glitchless, and I'm joined by my commentary Mike Wave. You want to say what's up?
Yo, everyone. How's it going? My name is Mike. I also run a lot of Resident Evil, and I also run a lot of Oblivion, specifically to Remaster. And yeah, I'm pretty excited. This is a fun category.
Yeah, this is going to be great. So the timer will start once I create the character. We'll talk a lot about what the run is and what we're doing here. Glitchless all main quests essentially just means we're doing all the main quests without abusing any massive glitches. So we're going to play as a Dark Elf, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to name our character Richard, who is our great GDQ tech.
We love Richard.
Started. Yeah, we absolutely love Richard here. This is an honorable thing. Timer will start as soon as I hit yes. So 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck, have fun.
Thank you. Hey there.
Hey there.
So we're chilling here, waiting in the jail cells start of Oblivion, just like the original and the remaster. The guy across the hall is Valen. He's kind of a jerk. He's gonna sit here and just roast us until eventually the guards come. But yeah, so glitchless all main quests. This run essentially, like I said, we have to go through and complete every main quest. Which means everything that includes, finding the new emperor and defeating Lord Dagon and all this fun stuff in between. Just because it's glitchless does not mean it is skipless. We actually have a relatively new major skip we put into the route, and we also have like a brand new, I'm not going to say whole new route, but a pretty new route basis for the first half of the game that we just found last night. If Mike, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so basically the main change that we made to the route last night was we just changed our starting class. Before we were playing as a rogue, then we changed it to scout so we can have both athletics and acrobatics, which are two major skills that we were relying on for a lot of the run and also for one of the skips that that Zeke was mentioning. But now we're going to be starting as a Nightblade once we get to the end of the intro here. And the reason for that is so we can keep both athletics and acrobatics as well as destruction, which is going to be our main source of DPS throughout the run.
We got Patrick Stewart here, letting us know that he wants to see our face. But yeah, like Mike said, we have a bit changed up, but here we're in the dungeons, and the dungeons are you see this place a lot. We're gonna beat up Glenroy a little bit, and I'm gonna shoot a fireball at him. This is to get all the guards to get aggro. Specifically, we need Renault. So I'm gonna kind of wait here for her to round this corner. She's coming. I'm gonna bait her down here, and she's gonna round the corner. I'm gonna yield to her.
I'll let you live this time.
This is so that she can be in the right spot, so that the assassin spawns right here.
Close up left. Protect.
Kill the rest of them.
Yeah, a lot of this intro just revolves around like punching these guys a lot.
Yeah, we really beat up Glenroy quite a bit. And we do a little dialogue skip there. Usually this dialogue takes a long time, like 30 seconds. But if we run out and run back in at the right time, we can skip a lot of it.
Also, no funny memes that happen there too.
Yeah, no, sometimes it can just not work for no reason because Glenroy like gets stuck or something. And Glenroy is a lot of the cause of heartache of this game. Like, if you ever hear someone complaining about it.
5 minutes, if you're playing a lot of any percent, which like revolves around like just doing the intro and then going straight to the end, it is a lot of like just getting griefed by Glenroy.
Yeah, a lot of it is just Glenroy moments. Like, we're all just big Glenroy haters a lot of the time. But now we're just basically running through. A lot of this run is going to see me managing stamina. So one thing that's new in the remaster that is not in the original is sprinting. We can actually press shift and sprint at like twice the normal running speed, which kind of saps our stamina a bit. And you're going to see me kind of choosing moments when to and not to use it, because I know when a door is coming up that will force me to stop and such. So you'll kind of see me coming in and out of sprinting quite a bit. All right. This whole section is pretty straightforward. We kind of just run through everything, ignore all these goblins that are hanging out. They're not going to bother us if we don't bother them. And then we're coming up on another area where we're going to kind of mess with Glenroy a little bit. Mike, you want to explain why we were messing with Glenroy?
Yeah, so we want Glenroy here to open up this next door for us, because normally like you're supposed to stop here and talk to the Emperor, which we are going to do, but we're going to kill this guy, pickpocket Glenroy, and if we do this correctly, we're going to open this door, kill this guy, and then right afterwards, Glenroy is going to come up and open this door early so we can already start killing the assassins in the next room. Right here. And as you saw, Zeke also punched Glenroy early there, and also here. And the reason for that is so that if we punch Glenroy there, the assassins like in the upcoming room are just going to be passive, like they're just going to be standing around, and we just go ahead and kill them. And he also punched them again, so we can go ahead and just start building up aggro on him right here. because we want to punch him, get them all aggroed, get them all following us. All 3 of them are going to go ahead and follow us. Like, they're just going to be running over here. It's going to be a lot faster than like just waiting for them to RP walk over to this next door. And they're all going to come running here. Zeke is going to go ahead and yield. We got some bad RNG of Emperor first. That's fine. Okay.
Too bad.
Yeah. As soon as Glenroy walks in that spot, we can go ahead and just open this next door. Boris is going to give us the torch.
Oh, he won't let me out.
Yeah, Boris, as soon as like you're basically done with that next section, like Boris really wants to give you the torch here. And as you see in this room right here, we're just going to be punching Glenroy a lot, so he just like aggroes to us and just goes ahead and follow us, and like we're going to get him to the next trigger. This is like all way faster than waiting for them to just walk over from each trigger basically. And in the intro, basically, we could just keep yielding to them. Like, they're never going to be, like, permanently mad or aggro to us or anything.
It's a dead end.
And now here that we got to the last trigger, we're going to go ahead and kill Glenroy. Throw a couple fireballs at him. Throw a couple fisticuffs at him. Now he's dead. There we go. And now we're going to aggro Boris. So basically we want Boris aggro to us as we wait for the Emperor to die here. And that's going to go ahead and make it so that Boris is in the room with us as he dies. It looks kind of funny because like he's just looking as the Emperor dies. No! And now we can talk to him to get our class selection.
First,
and this is where the new route comes in. We're going to be choosing Nightblade here. Again, that is just so we have acrobatics, athletics, and destruction, which are the 3 major skills that we want like really badly in the run. Specifically destruction, if we have that as a major skill, the main reason for this route change is because if we start with high enough destruction, 1, we use less magicka on all our destruction spells, which is just really good for mana efficiency. And 2, the game is just going to give us a bunch of extra spells for free that we just don't have to get, and they're all going to be very, very useful throughout the run.
Yeah, it was something we discovered last night. We were trying to figure out solutions for a lot of the run. And it was kind of on accident. We were like, wait a minute. Like, if you have a higher destruction, you just kind of start with Frost Touch, which does 20 points of damage versus the flame spell we were using, which does 6. You also get open, very easy lock, which we do get to use at one point in the run. It's all just extremely helpful. And the extra magicka also just makes it really, really nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the sewers. That's basically the intro of the game. And now we're going on to one of probably the most frustrating enemies in the game. But we have to fight her and we have to kill her, which is Umbra.
Oh, nice. We got Silent Cyrodiil over here.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, it's all foggy. Shout out to Silent Hill too. But we got Umbra coming up. And there's going to be a bit of RNG in this run. And when I say a bit, I mean there's a handful of it. And it all plays pretty important parts. We have answers to most of it. One of the biggest parts of RNG in the run is enemies being around dungeons you have to enter. Because it's going to cause a bit of a contention when we need to fast travel and run away. So if there's an enemy right outside this... Oh, I got the mouse bug. Oh, that's funny. Okay. There's one scamp. There's another one out there behind me I can see.
Is he aggroed? Oh, he is. That's unlucky.
I think he is, yeah. That's right. I'm just going to let him follow me in. We're going to go ahead and do some rebinding of spells here. And we're going to let him run in.
Yeah, hopefully he dies to like a rat or something. I don't know.
He can die to the rat or he can die to this poison.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't get the bad poison, so that's good. So Umbra is an NPC enemy that has a weapon we need to take from her, not because we want to use it, which we do want to use it, but we don't get to. So I have to be careful here in the event that she runs towards a rat.
Nice. Nice. Okay, good. All right, hopefully we can get this scamp now.
Yeah, he should be hanging around here somewhere. Or if he died, that's even better.
Yeah.
I think he might have, based on what I'm seeing.
We're for sure going to be able to tell once we leave.
Oh,
was it the Conjurer?
The Conjurer is who died.
I actually was doing runs today, and I had him die to a mud crab, which was really funny.
Nice, that's good. It's very important that those enemies die that can follow you in and out of dungeons, because they will lock you out of fast traveling, which is a massive, massive problem. You lose sad amounts of time.
Yeah, to give a little bit more explanation, basically enemies from outside dungeons and stuff can like follow you into the dungeon and just stay aggro to you. Basically they'll like just get stuck on something if they don't die and just like keep following you around and just like never lose aggro. That's a huge problem. However, the enemies inside the dungeons typically will not follow you outside, and if they try to, you can just quick save, quick load basically to lose aggro.
We have to go hit this Clavicus File Shard. We have to come back here later, but we're basically just unlocking the fast travel point right now. And now we're going to Wayne Priory. We basically have to go talk to Joffrey and be like, hey, we got to find this guy. Like, we need this guy for this amulet. Because we have to give the amulet to the Emperor's son, his only surviving son, so that he can stop the coming of Lord Dagon. And you're going to hear Lord Dagon's name a lot in a section later. But we're going to mash through this dialogue here. Get out of that. Hopefully this guy doesn't talk to me.
Oh, it caught you midair. Wow.
Yeah, he does.
Wow. Crazy.
It's just the best defense on the planet. All right, now we're going to fast travel down to Kvatch. We're going to do our first Oblivion Gate. We do 3 Oblivion Gates throughout the run. The first one and the last one are pretty easy. The second one is nightmare a lot of the time because we have to do an escort mission. But if done correctly, it could be good. But there is like slight amounts of RNG to it that can make it more of a pain. But here in the Kvatch one, it's pretty straightforward. We're basically going to go in, shut it down, and we do three Oblivion Gates, and they're all pretty identical in terms of their pathing and how they work. I'd say the one that's the most different is this Kvatch one, because we have to go across a hall and kill an enemy. But now, because we have Ice Touch or Frost Touch, it actually speeds it up a little bit because we can one-shot the enemy without having to use a sword.
Yeah, so to expand a little bit on that, basically we were using Umbra before, but in case you were not aware of like how the movement works in this game, you do move faster and like use less stamina when you're running, when you have like your weapons unsheathed, basically, or sheathed, I mean. So it is more efficient to always just be running around basically with no weapons up, basically. So us having to like take Umbra out like less basically is just more optimal throughout the entire run. And so that's why like having Frost Touch is just so good, and why spells in general in this game are so really, really good. It's just because you can just use them without having to take out weapons like at all, and just like immediately just go and interact with items like right after you kill enemies and stuff.
Yeah, it is a big time save too, because the best part about spells is like there's no weapon or sheathing or anything required with them whatsoever. So you just get to just have them on and be sprinting at full speed, which is all super nice. And these Oblivion Gates are essentially the goal of them is to close them. There's a sigil at the very top of every Oblivion Gate, and you have to go up there and touch it. When you touch it, the Oblivion Gate will start to explode. Which this is, I think, the longest of the Oblivion Gates, because we have to go up out here and cross this bridge to get to the guy who has the key. Otherwise, in the other ones, you don't have to do this. The guys who have the keys are inside, but we have to go all the way over here, where he's like, hey, he has this guy in a cage, but we're not going to care about that guy in the cage. He's like, hey, over here. It's like, sorry, man, we're a little busy right now.
Yeah, we got places to be.
Yeah, without Umbra, that's actually so much faster because there's no sheathing required. You can kill him almost like basically faster. So it's really, really nice to have this new route.
But yeah, the entire reason we have to go over there is just to open this one door right here. And also the key is going to help with an upcoming door as well that you would normally have to lockpick. Like the rule of the game is like the less lockpicking you have to do, just the better. Like the lockpicking minigame is just really, really frustrating at times.
Yeah, it's really strange though that this door up here is lockpickable because you have no way of getting up here without the key anyways.
Yeah.
So it's really strange that they made it lockpickable.
It was 2006, bud.
Yeah, it's okay. My bad. Todd Howard knew what he was doing back then. It just works. We're going to go up here to the top now. We're basically in the final room. Every final room of the Oblivion Gates will look like this. We're going to do a tiny, I say tiny, but it's actually kind of a nice time save. A little optimization here where if you interact with this and you jump down, and wait a second, we jump down again, it's going to skip the whole explosion sequence. Shout out to Bobby for telling me about that. He played it casually. He's like, why don't you do this? And I'm like, I had no idea. Now we're outside of Kvatch. We have to talk to this NPC over here. We got actually good RNG on this scamp running up because that means he's going to be right here. All we have to do is talk to him and get away. If friendly NPCs are in combat, you can't speak to them at all. So it's better that that scamp was where he was. But now we have to do a little bit of an annoying combat section that I don't love very much because the scamps love to run around.
Gonna use Cold Touch again on this guy, who we used to kill with Umbra. Another like nice little optimization.
That actually didn't go too bad. He was in it pretty far back, but it's important not to miss. If I had missed any more firebolts there, or I guess they're called flares. Sean Bean was really far away.
I still think the funniest change they made in the remaster was making Martin look like UE5 Sean Bean. That's just an amazing change.
Yeah, they really did great there. Now we're going to go all the way back to Wayne and Prairie because they're going to be under attack. Another great thing about this routing change that we did last night is that it makes this part a little bit better where we have to run in here and kill 2 enemies with Joffrey, but we need to kill them really fast, or else we're gonna get locked out of talking to Joffrey.
Your timing is excellent. I'll take the one on the right.
For Lord Dagon.
Yeah, we want to kill this guy and then talk immediately to Joffrey. Oh, that's unlucky.
He like
Oh, he still
ran.
talked to you. Wow. Okay.
Okay. What I'm gonna do is real quick throw on Umbra because we're actually out of mana.
Yeah, sometimes when you're fighting the Mythic Dawn enemies, even though they are technically like hostile enemies, the NPCs will react like you just killed somebody and just do all that nonsense. It's pretty funny when it does happen. Unless like it leads to the guards trying to arrest you, then it's not funny anymore.
Yeah, it stops being funny real fast. All right, now we're going up to the Cloud Ruler Temple, where basically we have to drop off Joffrey and Martin.
So normally you would have to like go here and then like watch this speech that like Sean Bean makes over here to like the guards here. But while we're doing that, we can just like go ahead and open the gate and just immediately fast travel over to is it Shaden Hall? I forgot what city it is, but yeah,
this is Skingard.
Skingrad. Yeah. But the reason we're fast traveling here is because we're going to make our way to Miskarkand, which is this ruin in the overworld, which we are going to have to do later to grab I forgot what item it is. It's like a stone that we need, and it's only found here. And another reason we're doing this early as well, this is like part of the new routing that we came up with like within the last week or so because of this new skip that was found. Which is like there's a bunch of stuff like there's a couple of stones we could loot inside this dungeon that we could just sell later, which we are going to really need so we can perform the skip later. It might seem slow on the surface, like on paper, but overall it does save a lot of time.
Yeah, it is a very like the skip we found, and we'll go in depth about what the skip is later. Was something that I found because the original has a skip that's significantly easier, but requires RNG of a staff and does not work. They actually patch it out in the remaster. So I sat there trying to figure something out, and I did. And then I figured out the staff, and the reason we were doing it wasn't actually going to be like obtainable. So I thought it was dead in the water, and then Empress Vala, who is a moderator and also a runner of this game, helped us figure out a way around it, and then Mike helped figure out a way to route it in, and we got this like really cool new setup now for the skip. All right, I got no enemies spawning around, which is pretty nice.
But yeah, this is Miskarkand. This is like 3 levels. It's like a pretty decently sized dungeon. We are just going to beeline towards the endo. We're only going to stop on the 2nd level just to grab a couple of stones. We'll go ahead and point them out to you guys as we get to it. But yeah, this follows the same rule that we followed earlier when we were fighting Umbra, though, which is that all these enemies inside, we can go ahead and just like beeline through it all. Like none of these guys are going to follow us outside, so we can just go ahead and just keep them aggroed. We don't really have to fight anything, except for one enemy towards the end. We'll talk about it when we get to it, but now we're getting to the 2nd level here.
Yeah, this find this find by Mike was actually super like critical. Like, we were struggling so hard to find them income to buy what we needed to buy.
But yeah, this Varla stone right here sells for 1,000 gold, which obviously is not going to be as much as you could buy from the merchants because of like how they value the items and stuff. But that's another thing that we took account for. And we're going to do a couple more item grabs here. Zeke is going to run to the end of the room here. And there's these 3, I think they're called like Wayland stones. They sell for a little bit also. Like we barely have enough money to buy the items we need. And yeah, interacting with these stones is like pretty annoying also.
Yeah, that goblin was really just like protecting it.
Yeah, security.
Yeah, it's trying to steal the Hope Diamond. So Miskarkand is a pretty straightforward dungeon too. So there's an enemy at the very end. We're actually hoping for a good RNG drop off of him. He opened the door for me.
Oh, nice.
I've never seen that zombie open the door. Yeah. That's actually awesome.
There's another thing like that can happen later in one of the Oblivion gates also with that. But yeah, this the King of Miskarkand. They're like one of the Lich Kings here. We're gonna hope. Oh, nice.
We got Frost.
Yeah, I think that's a Greater Staff of Frost. That's really good.
Yeah, those Greater Staffs are really, really strong.
Yeah, it is completely RNG what type of staff they drop. There is a limited item pool. However, the main thing we're talking about here is that like the type of staff they could drop is either a damaging staff, which is what we got, the Greater Staff of Frost. It does a lot of damage. The fact that it's a Greater Staff also means it's going to be a staff that's like technically like 10 levels higher than we are, which is really, really good. But it could also be a stasis staff, which is really bad because it means it doesn't do any damage, which means it's functionally useless for the run.
Yeah, it's the King of Miscarcand is like one of the few enemies in the game. He might be the only enemy in the game besides maybe like Umbra that can I'm gonna make a quick save here. I have to give it a second because I have auto saves turned on. Is the only enemy in the game that can actually drop us a weapon that is meant to be level 10 through 14. All right, so that quick save, quick load, basically what that did is it removed the combat, because even though you exit out of the dungeons all that time, you'll still be stuck in combat with what's inside, and it won't let you fast travel. But doing it that way lets us warp out.
But yeah, it's going to be like Sean Bean just gave his monologue here, but like we're just going in just to talk to Joffrey really fast so he can give us the next quest, which is to go talk to Boris. He was one of the guards in the sewers that we were like punching and stuff. But now he's going to be at a bar, and we're going to help him out with something real quick. This is also another strat that we lifted from the OG here. Like, we were doing this a different way. Like, yeah, that's fine, I think. We're going to shoot a fireball at this guy, and then go ahead and ice touch him. And because none of the MP... Oh, this guy's in our way here. Oh, yeah, Boris likes to sit down with this strat. Yeah. But yeah, because nobody saw us technically shoot the fireball at this guy, like nobody's going to act like we just assaulted somebody. So we're not going to get in trouble. And now we're going to run over here and we're going to like kill this NPC, quote unquote, kill this NPC with a sneak attack with Umbra. Because this guy is like really tanky for no reason. And even though this beggar saw us, I only found out about this recently, but all the NPCs have like unique alert levels. Also, we're going to go ahead and lift the key from this guy. We're going to need that in a little bit. We're going to basically just be running around the Imperial City here grabbing stuff. But get on what I was talking about, all the NPCs have like a unique alert level. And the beggars, all the beggars, I think, have a very, very low level of alert. So we can just kill somebody in front of them and they just will not snitch on us to the guards. That is basically how we did that.
Yeah, it was actually really... That was also just an entirely additional find to the routing. This all like, kind of happened in one day.
Yeah.
Which is really nice. So 11:24, perfect. The timing is good. Our time is very important here, like critically important that we are not too late or too early, because you can actually like lose monstrous amounts of time if you come here at the wrong time.
Yeah, this is like perfect. So yeah, this store is going to open at 8:30 a.m. It's around that time. It could be a little bit before too. But yeah, we want it. We're just waiting for the store to open here so we can go inside. This is the bookstore. We need to come in here for the main quest to pick up a book. The guy's going to tell us that he does not have the book anymore because someone else bought it. Right after here, we're going to wait 2 hours specifically for this guy to come in. And if we wait 2 hours, he's going to be right behind a counter here. We're going to talk to him and bully him for his book real quick. And there we go.
And now we get to do all the merchant stuff that we're setting up for the skip for us. So Mike will talk a lot about that while I do it.
Okay, yeah. So this is like all the routing changes that were made within the last week. This is how we're gonna buy. We're gonna buy some items here. We're gonna talk to this NPC. He's one of the NPCs for one of the DLC houses that you can do. The reason we talk to him is because he has very, very low mercantile while also being rich. He can just buy items for up to 2,000 gold. We're gonna sell all our stuff to him with a 153 haggle rate because again he has very low mercantile, and that is gonna give us just enough. Selling all of Umbra's gear as well and those stones and the books. That is going to allow us to buy a lesser staff of telekinesis here in this store from this guy. Reindeer staffs. But yeah, we buy this staff. We're going to leave, and then we're going to go to the store across the street here and buy a spell, which is just telekinesis. And the reason we are buying all this again is to pull off a skip later that is going to save a lot of time, like way more than we are wasting here buying all this stuff.
I'm waiting.
And yeah, this lady sells telekinesis. Nice. We just barely have enough for that. And then right after we're done doing all this, we're going to go ahead and fast travel back to the Elven District to talk to Boris again to complete the rest of this quest line.
Yeah. You guys might be wondering why we're buying a staff of telekinesis and the telekinesis spell. It's because telekinesis is actually broken in Oblivion. It was broken in the original and it's broken here as well. It's actually something that doesn't really work as intended, but thanks to Empress Vala, she was able to find out that if we have a lesser staff of telekinesis or any telekinesis staff equipped, and we have a spell of telekinesis that's stronger than it also equipped, the staff will inherit the properties of the spell, even though we can't use the spell. So it's kind of like a bug in the game that fixes another bug in the game.
Yeah, it's very, very weird. But again, none of this is considered a glitch, quote unquote. It's more so an exploit, so we allow it within the glitchless run.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention the fact that it is like easily the hardest thing in the run. We will talk more in depth about it when we get to it. So that key we lifted earlier is going to allow us to enter this house right here. And then we're going to have the spell to open this lock right here. And there's going to be a hole that goes to the sewer inside the basement of this house. And if we get there fast enough while Boris is like going through the sewers, he will just immediately come here. That is also part of the reason that we opened that sewer grate, by the way, so we can go for the door here. We're going to give him a little bit of a push here to get to his spot. And the reason we're doing this is because we need to meet with the Mythic Dawn inside the sewers to get the last book. And doing that is going to allow us to interact with this stone that will tell us where the Dagon Shrine is, which is the next place we need to go to.
I'm gonna kind of stay out of line of sight here because we need the enemy to open the door. If I get too close, he won't open the door. He'll like take forever. There we go. All we have to do is kill him and loot his book off of his body. So now we have everything we need to get to where we need to go. And again, this is why the timing was super important. If we were to get, we only have like a 30-minute in-game time window, which is actually a lot lower in real time to get to where we need to be, or else we can't progress the quest without waiting. It has to be between like 11:45 and like 12:30, I want to say. But we're gonna get here, I think, right at the perfect time. And we should be right now. Perfect.
Yep. Yeah, the beautiful thing about this route is it kind of just allows us to do all of that in one go without having to wait at all for that that marker to show up there on that stone. So now we went over to Cheydinhall, and we're gonna go ahead and yoink a horse. I'm hoping the NPC is not here. Nice. Yeah, there's this like NPC who could just randomly be walking around. She's like the stable owner, and if she sees you getting on the horse, she will like be mad at you, and you have to yield to her to get back on the horse.
Yeah, she can be kind of a massive pain. This horse is the only horse that we can take that's faster. You can take one for the other warps too, but this is the only one that's actually faster because the black horses are faster than the chestnut ones that we can steal otherwise, or the painted horses. The only horses I think are faster are like the night white horses or something like that. But this is the only one we can really feasibly take. We're coming up on one of like the most quirkiest dungeons and also probably the funniest one ever. it's there's a lot of repetitive dialogue in this, and you'll get what we mean by that here in like just a minute.
Let's just say that you cannot escape the Master's vigilance.
Yeah, and they're doing this for Lord Dagon.
I heckin' love Lord Dagon. So we're going to kill this NPC right here. Normally, this is supposed to be like an infiltration mission that we're supposed to do to get inside the shrine. But we're just going to run through it all because it's obviously just way faster to just like run directly to the book that we're trying to grab here. And this is also where we're going to be introduced to like one of the big bads of the game, which is Main Car Cameron, voiced by Terrence Stamp, who we're going to be listening a lot to later. We're just going to run up to the shrine here and grab the book. As soon as they detect us, like Main Car Cameron is going to take his portal back to Paradise, which is like his own realm that he has set up. But we just need to grab the book. That's all we need to do here. We're going to wait for a pop-up here. There is a funny thing that happens in this game a lot where if you get a pop-up, mainly when you're coming out of a load, you have this transition period where the game is coming from like black to like the normal game state. And in that state, we cannot skip past the pop-ups. So that's like a bit of an optimization that we're doing here. Like whenever you like get a pop-up at the beginning of like a screen and you can't skip it, that's why you have to wait for the game to transition to the game state.
Yeah, it can be a pain.
Who's there?
But yeah, we're just like running the rest of the way here. A lot of Master's Vigilance, a lot of Lord Dagon.
Yeah, for Lord Dagon, and you can't escape the Master's Vigilance, guys. If you thought you could, you were mistaken.
I tried once and I just couldn't.
All right, now we're gonna run basically through all the way around here to trigger this door, get us out of the area. Now we're hoping that no Conjurer summoned anything first and foremost.
Yeah, there's a funny soft lock that could happen here.
Yeah, if he did, I'll have to run back in and find him. But hopefully I can run out here, quick save, quick load, and if an enemy comes out, that's great. If they don't, maybe I can just warp out. I have to wait a second before I can do it. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, another thing, by the way, is that we normally play with autosaves turned off. Nice. We could tell, by the way, if we got it or not, just based on the music transition. Very obviously, the music changes entirely if you're in combat or not. So if it goes back to this like peaceful, tranquil type music, then we know that like we're good. Joffrey's going to want to talk to us. And we're going to go give the book to Martin, who's inside reading. Is this a good time, by the way, to talk about how Joffrey is like the worst NPC in the entire game by a very large margin?
Oh, yeah. This is like the cycle now.
Tier.
We're now in the Joffrey ruins your run zone.
Yeah, no, you could just lose a minute trying to find Joffrey sometimes, like no joke.
Track down.
Because unlike most of the NPCs in the game who follow like a very set schedule, kind of like at this time of the day they're here, at this time of the day they're over here, Joffrey could just be wherever, basically inside. Once you're at Cloud Ruler Temple, he could just be wherever. So that means he could just randomly decide to, it's 4 p.m. It's time to take my two-hour nap, for no reason that I never usually take. And that's it. Yeah, you just lose a lot of time just based on that.
Yeah, I'm going to make a quick save here because there is a funny thing now with a guard that likes to pat around. We have to break into this house with normal lockpicking, but if a guard sees me, like right there, I have to wait. I have to actually like give it a second. Where is he at?
Oh, yeah, this is really unlucky. Okay, nice. Also, the lockpicking, again, it can be really annoying sometimes. Yeah. Like, the tumblers can just like immediately fast fall for like 5 times in a row, and there's just nothing you can do about it. We're going to go ahead and give these guys a little bit of a touch here.
I think I went in this.
Oh, did a guard follow you in?
I think a guard followed me in.
Oh, no. We might have to go to jail then. If you grab this, I think you'll be okay.
I should be able to reload this save I made.
Stop right there, criminals.
Yeah, this is what we mean, by the way. These guys are just really annoying. Oh, you can just pay the gold.
Oh, I didn't even realize to pay the gold. Let me load the auto save probably and just pay the gold. I did not realize it was just a gold bounty. Let's do that again. Right there, perfect.
Yeah, and it's not going to make a difference either way also because at this point in the run, the time does not matter anymore once we're done with this mission. So if we like lose time basically from like having to pay gold, then it's not really a big deal.
What is it that I had stolen?
I am not sure. I'm like begin to just accept the... Oh, nice. We got some zombies in front of here. Nice. This happens sometimes too. Cool.
It's a silly game. Oh, I have to go actually to Clavicus File.
It just works, okay?
It just works. Yeah, so that part right there is one of the... that's why I made the safety save. It's a real pain that you guys saw I had no sneak. Nothing could see me there, but apparently they could. So now we're going to ditch Umbra to get the last item we need for Martin, which is the Daedric item, which we need to progress the game. A little unlucky that we went to jail, but that's Oblivion. That's really what it is.
I begin to accept the fact that like the guards can just randomly decide, hey, it's time for you to go to jail, and it's just, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Very true to life in that fashion.
Yeah. So we'll talk to Joffrey here. He's in the right spot, which is perfect. And then he's going to talk to us again. Now we have to go do the escort mission, which is the second Oblivion gate, which isn't horrible. It's just not great if some RNG doesn't go in your favor, but it should hopefully be not too bad.
Yeah, Oblivion 2, this is like easily one of the more annoying quests just because we have Captain Bird here, who we need to show how to close the Oblivion gates to, basically. He needs to give a speech to the boys, but we're not going to stay. We're just going to go.
Yeah, he's gotta come with us. So it's very important that we kill certain enemies here because or else the NPCs in Bird Brawl get stuck on them. Like these scamps here gotta go. That guy had the craziest juke I've ever seen in my life. Jump. Oh, I missed the jump input. Take care of that guy. So basically just to keep Bird and his fellows away from them. We're gonna jump up here, do a little classic Elder Scrolls wall running. And we're gonna come up here as well. Now, hopefully they should just warp behind me into this place. And I have to see if there's a summoner here.
Nice.
Nope. Perfect. So I'm out. If a summoner Daedra enemy spawns there, I think it's a bug. At least we came to the conclusion that it's probably a bug. where they will summon an enemy, and the summoned like guardians cause the NPCs to get stuck. Like they'll just get stuck with them in combat for what seems like ever.
My speculation is that it just changes how they aggroed, basically. So like they just will not like follow you, basically.
Stay sharp.
Yeah.
Stay sharp.
Hopefully they don't get stuck on that scamp there.
Look out.
Nope, great.
Nice.
We just have to get through this one.
Hopefully
They're
they
hitting something
kill that
right now,
guy.
though.
Yeah, hopefully they kill that thing fast at the entrance here. We kind of just hope they follow us here.
Nice.
Nice. Okay. Now we just got to grab the key off this guy here. And also we got the scamp, which is like pretty good too.
I don't know what they're doing down there, but if I get my mouse here, that means, yep, okay, we're good. If it shows the mouse, that means the quest updated and he's in here. Now I don't have to care about him at all. I can just go do what I need to do. So we're going to run up and close this Oblivion gate. See you later, buddy. Sigil stone. I'm going to drop. Drop. All right, now that's Oblivion 2. And it actually went pretty well. It was actually good. We didn't have any of the bad RNG enemies that required us to stop and kill them. But we do have to kill these scamps, though.
Oh, wow, okay.
There we go.
I was going to say that scamp did like the classic just run into you juke tech right there.
Yeah, I thought my fireball went through him and hit Bird. And you would think that the game would give you a little bit of leeway for accidentally hitting NPCs during quests where it's like kind of unavoidable sometimes, but you would be surprised. We're going to pass by Joffrey for a minute here because we have to go talk to Martin first. He's like, hey, we need you to get the armor of the Septums. And that's what we're going to do.
This is where the big skip is coming up, by the way, which is the next area, which is Sancrator. We need to go there to grab armor from one of the Tiber Septums. And this used to be a very, very, very long dungeon that we had to like just
I
do.
did not mean to do that. Sorry, buddy.
Is he aggro to you?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Does it actually? No. Have to talk with him again. Just a fireball on his head.
Yeah.
I forgot you have to re-talk to him twice there if you do the skip. Accidentally shot Joffrey in the face. I say accidentally, but really.
No, okay. I think we're good.
Yeah, no guards, thankfully. I don't think it would have let me fast travel if guards are on me. So I think we're good there. So now we have to take the little bit of a long trek to Sancrator. And Sancrator was kind of what we built up to with this whole route, this whole skip. That's crazy. Okay.
Oh my, wow.
He can just hang around. Sancrator is this long dungeon where you have to go through and you have to kill like 4 or 3 ghost skeletons that like are basically holding the spirits of the people guarding the armor of the septum, and you have to get them all together. You have to go into the room. You have to wait. It's a very long dungeon. Like actually, this is the longest split in the game. But what we have here is getting stuck on the wall. There is a skip now. Like I said, this skip is brand new, so I might mess it up a few times because it's a hard skip. It's actually very, very difficult and very like movement and pixel perfect a bit to actually get successfully. Requires some lining up and some stuff. So, and Mike can talk a little bit about that right now, about what the skip is and how we use telekinesis.
All right, yeah. So basically what we're doing here is in a moment, once we get there, Zeke is going to equip the Lesser Staff of Telekinesis that we bought earlier in the Imperial City. And then he is also going to equip from his spellbook Telekinesis. Now, if Zeke has both the staff equipped and also Telekinesis equipped in his active like spell slot, it's going to make it so that the staff will actually go up to 30 meters. We don't know why it does this. Normally, apparently, the telekinesis staff like doesn't even. It's like either that or the spell like just does not even work as intended. However, I think the lesser staff only goes up to like 10 meters normally, but when you have telekinesis equipped, it will go up to 30 meters. Again, we consider this an exploit, not a glitch, in case you were wondering. And what we're going to do here is we're going to run through. Basically, what we're doing here is we're running to like the center chamber. This is like the entrance hallway, kind of. And once we get to the center chamber, we are going to go straight to like where the armor is being held. It's going to be held in this tunnel, like this wind tunnel with like all these like particle effects and stuff. And like there's going to be this massive, massive barrier that's like blocking you basically from where the armor is. However, there is basically this geometry on the side, on the walls, that we can climb up on, like just do some mountain goat climbing on. And if we go up to a specific point and have the staff equipped, if we fire the staff at a precise moment while jumping at the precise angle, the barrier does not go up high enough, basically. And what we're going to be able to do is get the prompt to show up on the armor just briefly while we're firing the telekinesis projectile. And if we do this correctly, the game is going to pull the armor towards us. So we don't have to do anything in the dungeon at all. So here we go. Again, this is really, really tough. Oh, yeah. This is another meme that can happen where like you get these debuffs on you when you're near the wall here. Ooh, I thought you were going to get it there. Again, this might take a couple tries. Again, this is way harder than it looks. Like, you have to be really precise on this. This is like a massive run killer normally.
Yeah, it's a pain. I have to wait for my stamina a little bit here so I don't get knocked down again.
Yeah.
That was close. I got to jump a little bit later. Oh, that was
basically
close.
The prompt to pick it up has to be on the screen while the projectile is also hitting it at the same time. It's very, very tricky.
There we go.
Nice. Sick. All right, did not take us that long.
Yeah, that skip is like so unbelievably rough. I originally didn't even think it was going to be possible for glitches to even have it. But again, thanks to that find by Vala with the staff, we were able to actually figure out a way to do it. But it is insanely difficult to get the jump in the lineup. So that only took like 4 or 5 tries. Honestly, not bad at all. you take that.
For a marathon, yeah, that's not bad at all. Yeah, that is... Execution-wise, that is easily the hardest part of the run. There's like not even like a second like closest. That is just the hardest one by far.
Yeah, and it's a great skip too, because even though that took some tries, that still cuts off like a minute and a half, right? Because like otherwise doing this whole dungeon takes forever.
Yeah, you have to run around all these side paths, kill all these skeletons. It's just so much running around, especially on glitchless when we're so slow and have all the stamina to take care of and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And nice. I don't think there's any enemies nearby too, right?
No, I think we're actually fresh out of combat immediately. Yeah.
Ooh, that's nice. Okay, sick.
Yeah, that's why we kill those skeletons right outside when we get here. It's because they'll keep us locked in combat. There's some really bad RNG you can get where a skeleton spawns at the top of the tower, and you just lose. You just basically have to bite the bullet on that one and lose the time to go kill him. But now we got everything we need to get. We're basically done with the fetch quest part of this, and we're gonna turn everything into Martin here.
My progress on the.
No Joffrey like funny moments either too. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Now we get to go to the Countess and start the final Oblivion Gate.
So what's going on here in the story is that the next thing we need to get on Martin's like grocery list is that we need to get a great sigil stone. And the only way to get this is from a great Oblivion Gate. So what we're telling the Countess here, oh yeah, we still got the zombies outside here. But yeah, what we're effectively doing here is we're talking to the Countess and going, hey, we're gonna let all these Oblivion Gates just open up outside your city because we need to do this so we can just stop the whole invasion to begin with. So we're gonna tell her, hey, there's gonna be a big battle like right outside your city. Just heads up, like no, like no rush or anything. So next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna tell her to go meet Martin. So we're gonna run over to the chapel. As soon as Zeke goes inside, he's going to immediately wait just 1 hour just so the Countess can just move over to the chapel. And after this, we're gonna like basically talk to her and have her just initiate the battle. It's just gonna be a dialogue option here. Let the battle begin, go outside. And now we're gonna fast travel outside the city and go to where the initial Oblivion Gate is. And we're gonna do some more waiting. A lot of the waiting that you're seeing us do is basically just waiting for like NPCs to like walk over. And the one we're going to do here is so that we need to wait for Martin to walk over to the gate. And that's going to be about 6 hours or so, I think, in game time.
Yeah, we should be able to wait 5. I was able to do it earlier where I waited 5 and then waited 1. So he can come and do his Sean Bean monologue.
Yeah, this is like his big monologue moment here. By the way, if someone can find a way for us to skip this monologue, that'd be awesome too.
Yeah, it'd be super awesome.
Because this is basically just an auto-scroller right here.
Yeah, we're basically going to chill here while he does this. I'm going to go ahead and equip my staff now. Not going to really use it. It's very dangerous to use the staff here in this area unless I absolutely have to. The staff is super dangerous because they have really big area of effects. Like it's massive. All of them do. And every single person here will die in one hit, including Martin. Thankfully, though, this area isn't actually combat-based. It's timer-based. So as the enemies come out, it doesn't really matter if I kill them fast or not. We're basically waiting for the final Oblivion Gate to open up.
Yeah, and if need be, we can also just use fireballs, basically, to kill these guys in full touch.
Well, while we're hanging out, would it be a good time for me to do a couple announcements?
Absolutely.
So I want to make sure everyone knows that Black in a Flash's Summer Speedrunning Celebration Juneteenth will be live on the GDQ channel right here from June 19th to 22nd. So you can type !Juneteenth in chat for the full schedule and visit gdq.gg/BAF, lots of letters, to learn how you can join the Black in a Flash community. And if you're curious what's coming up on Hotfix in general, you can always check out this week's schedule and explore our full season lineup at gdq.gg/Hotfix.
Oh no.
Yeah, this guy is just beaming Martin.
We can't have that.
Yeah, he was beating him down a little bit there.
Bro thought he was Harvey Lee Oswald over here.
The idea is that Martin just can't die. I just have to pay attention to yourself a little bit. Typically, it's fine. It's really hard for him to die. If anything, you're going to accidentally kill him. So that's why, yeah, I try not to do anything.
The training of thousands.
I don't know what he's doing in there. Trying to hit that scamp that's glitched out of bounds, which happens a lot. The scamps will get stuck. You can't really hit them. Whoa, okay. He just got sent to the moon.
Boris?
Who was that?
RIP.
Oh, it is Boris. All right. Poor Boris. Again, I just have to make sure that Martin doesn't die. He's taking a lot of damage, though, but I think he's fine. Okay, that's the third gate. Now we're just waiting for the massive one to show up. How's Martin doing? He's good.
Yeah, if like one of the enemies gets like caught on that like piece of geometry there, they just like, I think there's a cap on how many enemies can spawn. But it's actually a good thing if they get stuck there, because like just more enemies will not spawn. I mean, it's not a big deal anyways, because it's all like an auto scroller basically.
Doesn't matter how many I leave alive, because the second I zone out, they all kind of die anyways. And when we come back through at the very end, a few will respawn, a few bigger ones. This is a party over here.
They're just having some fun over there.
Okay, now the final gate's open. I have to wait for the dialogue. Okay, now I'm out of here. Now we're going to start Oblivion 3. This is the fastest Oblivion gate. We kind of just bolt right through it because there's this big, massive war machine coming through. It's going to come through and essentially destroy everything. And we have to close the gate before that happens. We actually are on a timer for this. It's like 15 minutes or something. Very easily beatable timer, like very, very, very easily. But if you're on like one of the harder difficulties, I am stuck. Oh, goodness. Okay. It can be kind of a pain. Get up this geometry. Nice thing gets stuck.
Yeah, this is where like the funny like Elder Scrolls like mountain goat climbing really comes into play here.
Yeah, this one's oh, I got the meme. Where you can sometimes, if you sprint at a certain point without like releasing your W correctly and repressing it, you'll get stuck in place. It's a interesting bug.
Yeah. Like, ironically enough, even though this is like the last Oblivion gate, I think this is like the shortest one, right? There's like not that many rooms in this one. Yeah.
We're basically like almost at the top already. We just have, I think just through here is when we'll get the final enemy. And I could use the staff here, but it's slower to take it out and use it, so we'll just frost touch this guy.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, we can do the lockpick minigame on that door, but it is like way faster and less annoying to just grab the key off that guy.
Yeah, the reason we avoid lockpicking so much is, one, like Mike said, it's super annoying, and two, it's slow, and if you mess up, we don't have very many lockpicks. We have like 6. If you mess up too much, like, you're gonna lose so much time. So there's the last sigil stone. We're done with this Oblivion gate. We're gonna get warped out, and there's gonna be a couple enemies hanging around. I'm not gonna use the staff on them because I do not wish to kill everyone in the raid group. Don't want to wipe the raid. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna frost touch the enemies, which does a lot more damage. Thank you for that pop-up.
Nice.
Got the one there. Okay, that's half the army is dead, by the way, I'm pretty sure. I don't know where they are, but they're all gone. That was actually pretty fast. Frost touch makes that part a lot better too, because the flame bolt doesn't actually like do anything to them there. The flare doesn't do much at all. So now we're gonna run in here, and if we're lucky, Martin will zone in with us at the same time. Otherwise, I have to wait. And
congratulations on
unlucky.
Your victory.
You're not Martin. Okay. He had to stop by quick trip. Okay. Oh, hold on. I don't like you, Jenna. Not you. Where's the guy? There he is.
I have.
All right. I'm going to push Martin towards here because he's going to open us up the gate
Sir?
to Paradise, which is where main car Cameron went.
Yeah, this is the point also where we get a lot of Terrence Stamp ASMR as we're running through Paradise here. This is where he does
he's
like
a yapper.
yeah, this is where he does like I've noticed like basically all the celebrity voice actors in this game have like one big monologue moment, and this is the one for Terrence Stamp right here.
Yes, this game, if you aren't aware, had a very star-studded cast, very, very star-studded cast. With having Patrick Stewart, Terrence had, Sean Bean, right? Yeah, it's everyone.
So the cat's paw of the Septims arrives at last.
And here he goes.
You didn't think you could take me unawares here, of all places, in the paradise that I created.
And we're just killing this guy for his gloves, which we're going to need to interact with the doors in this cave coming up here. If you do get really unlucky with the staff RNG, we typically will pick up that guy's sword as well, because it does a decent amount of damage, mainly just to kill main car Cameron, because he has a very, very strong like magic shield on him. So our spells and stuff like will not like do any damage to him. For whatever reason, like the staff will damage him though. I don't really understand it. But yeah, luckily we can just use the staff though.
It's interesting because the staff is so unbelievably overtuned because it does 80 points of damage, whereas our strongest spell, our Frost Touch, does 20. So literally we'll one-shot everything in this difficulty. And we are playing on the easiest difficulty because it's a speed run. And so we want to play on the easiest difficulty because it's very, very fast.
And we're also going to go ahead and kill this guy right here also, because we need this NPC to follow us. And we don't want him getting caught up on anything.
You cannot stop Lord Dagon.
All right, now we're going to just kind of bolt through here.
Principalities have sparkled as gems.
He's still yapping.
Reaches of Oblivion since the first morning.
It's a good monologue, to be fair. Like it sounds good. They killed their roles. They really did.
Well done, champion.
Well,
the monologues, the dialogues, the monologues in this game, the side quests are all the reasons why Oblivion is like undisputably the GOAT in Elder Scrolls games and almost in games of all time. It is like if you have not played the remaster, what I'm showing you here, the main quest is such a small part of the game that you normally won't actually touch the main quest at all when you're playing the game. All the side quests, all the guilds, there's so much content in this game. If you played the original or haven't, regardless, you should play this. It is absolutely phenomenal.
I tire of the
It is a wall-to-wall masterpiece.
And yeah, we're getting out of the cave here, and now we're getting towards where like main car Cameron is. We're gonna need to kill two of his relatives here who are like guarding the door. Luckily, they both just die in like one fireball each, so we're gonna be able to take care of them really quick here. Ooh. Now we're gonna prep our staff for him.
They should one-tap him. And it did. There he goes.
Nice. That saves so much time, actually. It might not look like it. It's only used now for like one part of the run of the reroute, but it is so much better than having to go up and like whack him with the sword.
Yeah, it is a very quick kill. He's really the last like boss of the game. And really we didn't even have many bosses, but like special enemies that we absolutely have to kill. So yeah, now that we're done with Paradise, we're actually almost done with the game. We just have to talk to Martin. But as you're saying, Mike?
Oh, no, I was going to mention the same thing, which, like, once we're done at Paradise, we're basically on the last quest, which is Light the Dragonfires. So we're going to go back to the Imperial City now to talk to Chancellor Okado. And basically, Martin is going to be anointed the new emperor now that everything is taken care of, seemingly. However, there's going to be one last sequence, but this is going to be all pretty fast, though. I was traumatized once here getting stopped by a guard at the very end here, but it seems like we're good.
I remember that. All right, so we're going to do this little dialogue here where Chancellor Cuddle's like, you're the new guy, and then suddenly all the Daedra are here. Because even though we stopped main car Cameron, he's here still. Lord Dagon still showed up, so everything we did basically meant nothing. He's still here.
We have an emperor again. Your Highness, what are your orders? Shall the guard fall back to the palace?
No,
If we let ourselves get besieged in the palace, we're doomed. We must get to the Temple of the One immediately.
As you command, sire. Guards, form up and protect the Emperor. To the Temple of the One.
All right, now I'm going to basically be making a beeline out of this place. And what's going to happen is we're going to run around, go through this next door here. We have to trigger a quest pop-up by running into Lord Dagon a little bit. He's going to be this massive, massive demon here running amok in the city. If I look up, you'll see him a little bit. He's going to be right here on the other side. And I'm going to hit this quest pop-up. That's him. We're going to run into the Emperor to make him do his dialogue. We do this so that he'll teleport to me when I go inside this door. Time will come up when I speak to Martin to end the game. Hi, Lord Dagon. Bye, Lord Dagon. We'll run in here. And now I'm going to get a quest pop-up that's like, hey, we're here to light the Dragonfires, and all I have to do is interact with Martin, and time will be coming up here in just a second. And time.
GG's.
Thank you.
Yeah, GG's.
That was a pretty solid run, other than the fact that we went to jail, but would it really be like a fun showing of Oblivion if we didn't go to jail? But yeah, that's Oblivion Remastered Glitchless. Very fun run. It has seen a lot of changes over the last few weeks since it came out. We brought the time down a lot. Now we're the world record is 42:38, which is held by me. I just got that record a few days ago. Mike Wave is the record holder for any percent, which is 6 minutes, right? No, 5 minutes and 52 seconds.
Yeah, 5:52. Yeah.
5:52 for the any percent. So, if you like this run, you can catch Mike running it at twitch.tv/MikeWave or catch me running it at twitch.tv/Captain Ezekiel. But most importantly, you can actually catch this exact run at Summer Games Done Quick. I will be running this Wednesday night with an incentive to run the 80% run. So I'll be running this on the stage, as well as I'll be running Resident Evil 7 Biohazard during the horror block on Tuesday. But yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate GDQ for having me on. Again, like I said, you can catch me at twitch.tv/Captain Ezekiel. I do a lot of speedruns, and I'll also be on Hotfix again June 4th, running Resident Evil 7 DLCs. But again, thank you guys so much for having me. I appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed.
What happened?
It's been our absolute pleasure. You're a legend. You're always welcome on the show, regardless of what you're running. Thank you so much for making the time. We have run over just a little bit, so I'm going to keep the outro super short. Just thank you to all of our runners, all of our commentators, everyone who is on the show today. We will be back on our normally scheduled Monday nights, so the next episode is June 9th. Thank you for joining us on a Thursday. Big shout out to Richard, our production team, for everything that they're doing on the back end. And don't forget to stay tuned. We have Awfully Silly with Conception coming up right after the break, so don't go anywhere. But yeah, take care.